Figure Fight Club community. Welcome to Figure Fight Club.
Giveaway, you say? Oh yeah, Figure Fight Club is the official giveaway channel of Action Figure YouTube.
Thank you, members, for the love you bring, for every shared story and the joy you sing. To our sponsors, your support's the key. Together we build this legacy. Collectors unite in this fight we thrive. Figure Fight Club, our passions alive. Yeah. Unboxings and battles, the thrill of every find. Trading tales and treasures.
Creativity, nothing here to lose. Set the stage for infinity, creating fantasy for all the world to see.
Imagination runs wild. Endless possibility. Action figure photos, the ultimate therapy. Creating artistry for all the world to see.
Get the lighting just right. Pick your character. Set the props in motion. Tiny progress.
Take the shot. Welcome to the shot.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Taking the Shot. It's Thursday night on the Figure Fight Club Network. I am your host, Loucifer, Lucidabase3 on Instagram. Hope you guys are doing all right. I'm having a great night, despite minor issues. I don't know if I've said this before, but I've been dealing with a frozen shoulder rotator cuff situation since March this year, and trying to avoid surgery. I'm doing physical therapy every week, and yesterday's physical therapy was absolutely brutal, so I'm in severe pain today. It's not fun. Damn shoulder just aches. Anyway, we got a great show tonight for you guys. I hope you guys stick around for the whole thing, and maybe we'll all learn something tonight. My lights are off tonight because I forgot to charge them up, so that's a thing. It happens. We'll live with it. We'll move forward. Want to thank our sponsors first and foremost, as I always do. Sys 3D Arsenal, and Collecticon. If you use code FFC10, you can get 10% off your entire order with both of them. We will thank our other sponsor in just a moment. What are we going to do next? You know what? Screw it. We're going to introduce our guests one at a time here. I believe this first guest of ours is still the hottest free agent in YouTube toy tuber land. Want to bring to the stage and welcome Sneaky Figures.
Hey, what up, y'all? I don't know if I'm the hottest free agent. I'm more of like a journeyman at this point. I'm like, Shaq in his later years. He's just jumping from team to team. So, just trying to find where I fit in. No, but I love hanging out with you guys. Usually, whenever you ask me, I'm always down to co-host with you on the show. It's a great show. I love it. And like you said, I'm always learning new things too. So it's always nice to see, other photographers and their different style. Because, just like any type of art, photographers all have their own kind of style, what they do. So it's always good to see, different perspectives and, just different photography styles. So Absolutely. I love it.
Right on. Thank you for coming, brother. And it's always good to have you on the show. Thank you. I appreciate you for sure. And then, of course, we want to welcome our next special guest to the stage and go ahead and thank him personally. From Articulated Times and Articulated Empire, our friend Steve. What's up, Steve?
How are we, guys?
What up?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I love being here. Thank you guys for the invite.
Absolutely. I love talking with you guys about. I learned so much from both of you, so I love having you on and picking your brains, and maybe I'll get
Well, thank
better than
you.
you one of these days. Then you'll be picking my brain.
That's right.
So we'll get into it here in just a second. We jump into the chat for a second and see who we've got in the house tonight. First up is 88 Toys. What's up, 88? Thanks for stopping in, my friend. We've got Articulate. Hey, that's you. Articulate. We've got Fanboy Tone. I heard that there's a legendary guest on tonight. What's up, y'all? What's up, Fanboy? There is a legendary. There's two legendary guests on this show tonight.
3.
Who's the third? There's a.
You're holding it down, Lou.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Magna Figure Photos, Winford.
Winford.
What's up, Winford? Good to see you. Thanks for coming, my
What's
friend.
up, brother?
We've got, let's see. All right. So the chat's been busy, but it's been a lot of conversation between everybody. So I'm trying to shift through here, and my mouse doesn't want to work with me. So bear with me as I stumble through, as we do every week. G.I. Jedi. What's up, G.I. Jedi? Good to see you, brother.
Yo.
Thank you for coming in. Let's see here. Keith St. Bificus. What's up,
Yo,
Keith?
man.
How you doing, man?
What's happening?
Coda Forge Photography. What's up,
Coda.
Coda Forge? Thanks for stopping in, brother. We got Agent Z-Man. What's up, Z-Man?
Z-Man.
What's happening?
And we got Toyamic Trey. What's up,
Trey?
Trey? Good to see you, brother. We got Manjosa. As always. What's up,
What's
Manjosa?
happening?
Astro Creep, Lair of Doom. Good evening. What's going on, brother?
I feel like there should be pyrotechnics when you say that name.
I know. You know, that's something we need to do. We definitely need to do some. We need to get some more music for this. I got to learn how to do that, and then we'll have some pyrotechnics and music. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I think it'll be awesome. And we've got Hunt's Club. What's going on, Hunt's Club?
Yo, Hunt.
How you
What's
doing?
up, man?
Did I miss someone? I'm checking this. Bear with me a second, guys. We're getting all of you guys. Fig Fan Samurai, thank you for coming out, brother. Good to see you.
What's up?
Yo, Fig Fan.
We got Gray Dragon. Gary, what's going on, brother? Thank you for coming out, man.
Man, oh man.
Suda Huba, what's
Suda.
shaking, Suda? We will see you soon. We'll talk about that later. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna be doing this all night. Digital Caveman, how you doing, brother?
Yeah.
What up?
You guys really showed up tonight. Holy crap! I got
Thank you guys.
Dub.
Dub, dub.
Three.
Oh,
What's up, Dub? I got Hot Rod 2188. Hot Rod, how you
Yo,
doing?
Hot Rod.
Good to see you.
Hey.
And I think we're caught up. All right, we're caught up. What's going on, guys? Hell of a turnout. Thank you, guys. You know,
Yeah,
I've
thank
been
you for being here.
yeah, I missed being
Hell
I missed being here last week, and it was a great show with Goose and the co-host party. But you know, after being gone for a week, you miss it, and you're like, oh man. And so anyway, here we are. We are back, and Stu for Lunch is joining us too.
What's up, Stu?
What's going on, Stu? Good to see you, my friend. And real quick, because I didn't do this officially, right? I didn't. We want to thank our final sponsor. I don't know if that's the right word. Final sponsor, Articulated Empire, for his generous donations for our giveaways as the king of giveaways. Our friend, Articulated Time, Steve. Thank you, my friend.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for the support. And again, you know, this is it's a slam dunk for sure, supporting you guys, because you guys do content almost every night of the week, practically, right?
Yeah.
Almost. You're real close. So
Almost.
it's like, again, gotta support that stuff, man. Creativity, just definitely pushing that to the forefront with everything. Gotta support guys that are leaning into what they love.
For sure. And we, like I said, we appreciate you greatly, my friend. Matt with 2 T's in the house. I took a shot and I liked it. Good. Was that Jägermeister? Was it Jaeger bomb? Was it tequila? What kind of
How
shot
about
did we
photo,
take?
Lou? Come on, man.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Unity in the community.
Man,
Hell
what's
yeah.
up, man?
So, as we were talking, greetings to all. And tonight's show is about the title "Adapt and Overcome." I thought that sounded really fancy and whimsical, but essentially talking about frustrations when setting up a shot and kind of the progression of how this shot gets from beginning to end and how much it can change, right? You've got an idea in your head, again, getting the idea from your head through the lens. So you've got the idea in your head, and sometimes you've got to adapt and you've got to do some major changing to what you thought you were going to get done to get to your final shot. And just wanted to sit and talk with you guys about it. We've got some photos from each of us that we're bringing to the table, and we're going to kind of go through them and go over the progression of each shot. And hope you guys enjoy it and we all learn a little something from this. I don't know. We'll see. I sound like PBS now. We're going to learn. Is it Mr. Rogers? I don't know. So you guys ready to get into it, or
Hell yeah.
something? All right, let's do that. All right. I'm off my game tonight, obviously. A week off and I'm totally out of sorts. So we'll get through it. I promise, guys. So Sneaky, we're going to start up with your photo. Okay.
All right.
And this one, and we're starting with basically the beginning.
Okay.
Kind
Okay.
of
I was gonna say, hey, what? This isn't the final shot, guys.
What are you doing, Lou?
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, I was, as you can see, I took the Mezco Leonardo, some NECA foot soldiers, foot ninjas. I was trying to do so this was part of a collab. I mean, it's a weekly collab. It's called the Weekly Wonders, and the theme was leader. That's all they say. You can interpret it any way you want. So I'm like, okay, well, Leonardo's the leader of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I've been wanting to do more shots with those figures. So let me try to figure something out. So I just let me just do a Leo shot, kind of tied into like a Mezco Monday. You can see the little Mezit on the bottom, and just have them fighting some foot ninjas. In nighttime, dark alley, whatever. So I was trying to get, of course, like an action looking shot. So I started at this, side view. And funny thing is, I was kind of being lazy with this. I had my lens on autofocus, and this is how it came out on the first shot with the autofocus on. It just came out so blurry. And the lighting, I think Lou has my behind the scenes, so you'll see it later. But I started off, I wanted it to be a nighttime shot, so I used a lot of blue lighting. I had blue lighting on top. I used a bounce card on the side with more blue lighting, and I was trying to use this macro light with like a warm orange to kind of maybe see if I could focus it more on Leonardo. And again, you see how this first shot came? I was like, whoa. Autofocus, and it came out like this. Okay, I got to switch to manual focus. So I played around with a little bit more, and I think if you go to the next photo,
let's get that next photo up here. There we go.
So this was manual focus, so it came out a whole lot better, right?
Oh yeah, but crystal clear.
I still wasn't happy with the shot itself. I was like, okay, it's okay, but I didn't really like how it captured the action. I wanted something that was more like in your face, right? And this looked okay, right? It was okay. But I wasn't happy with it. So if you go to the next one, I think it's just okay. So now I'm using a little bit more of a Dutch angle, so you could see it kind of looks more action, kind of focuses more on the action, but again, I just wasn't happy with how it was coming out. I was trying to get both foot ninjas, and you can see I added the blood effects, those around their necks. I forgot who makes them. I think it's like G something. But yeah, I was just like not happy with it. But I felt like I was getting closer. But again, it was just it felt like there was too much going on. At the same time, not enough, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and I was just thinking like, okay, so I have that back foot ninja, it's almost like he's getting slashed in the back. But I was like, well, you know, the way it's angled, like Leo's back katana is really high, but he's supposed to be getting slashed in the back, and you know, it didn't match up to me. And you know, as you can see, I'm propping up these guys with it's basically really thick gauge wire to hold them up. I tried doing that with that foot ninja in the back with like a wire stand, but I couldn't get it to like sit right. You know, it was like falling over. It was just and I'll tell you, Leo kept on falling over like every time I made a little adjustment. It was I was going crazy. Honestly, I think I spent about like an hour and a half on this shot.
Wow.
Was there ever a point that like all of them fell over at one point? Because that never fails. Like you adjust one small thing and then they all fall over like dominoes. Like
So yeah, exactly. So at first, that front foot ninja, I was using. So that's just one little wire gauge piece, but I do have
Let me ask you real quick, Sneaky.
Yeah,
What gauge wire are you using for these? Do you know by any chance?
sorry, 1 sec. I should have had these already.
Oh, you're good, brother. You're good.
So I'm not sure. I have to look on Amazon because I've had these for a while, but it's really thick. Like you could barely kind of bend it. Like you see how it takes a lot of force to bend.
Yeah.
It's almost like, and I have a bunch of these stands too. These wire stands. I got these off of like Etsy. You could even make these on your own, but I was trying to make my own stands and I didn't like how they came out. And I saw really good reviews for these, so I bought like a pack of 5 for like $15. But see, I was using this stand for that front foot soldier at first, and I had it like under his leg, and what Steve was saying, not only was he falling over, but he kept on turning on his own, and I even tried using sticky tack to get him to stay. So I was like, you know what? Damn it, I have some thick gauge wire somewhere. So let me go downstairs, and I found that little roll I had. And I was like, all right, I got to just cut some up and just basically just use a stand, so that way, you know, they're more propped up and not like on a stand, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not.
So yeah, but again, like Steve was saying, you know, every time you make one little adjustment, just adjusting Leo's katanas, you know, someone would fall over. You can see I used the Mezco Nosferatu rats on the bottom. You could kind of see them just like chilling on the sidewalk. Like even those guys were tipping over, and I'm like, dude, no one's even touching these guys, you know, like what's going on? So, you know, I think we can. Let me bring it to the next shot, which will probably line up with what you're talking about a little bit here. Okay, so yes, so this you can see that little rat right there on the bottom. So this is where I was like, okay, I'm starting to get the angle right, but I still don't like the positioning, you know. But I'm digging this, like it's more zoomed in. You can see Leo's like expression. He's looking pissed. But again, you know, it's just the placement of everything wasn't all there yet. As you can see, the back katana it got lower, so you can't even tell he has a weapon back there. And again, you know, that foot ninja in the back just looks kind of awkward. Like I wanted him to get hit from the back, but it just wasn't working out. And again, the guy in the front, you know, I like what I started doing with him, where, you know, it looks like he's like mid fall. He's got slashed in the neck. He's grabbing his neck, like, you know, like trying to cover it. But, you know, and you could still see I'm using that warm light on Leo, so you could still see that, you know, he kind of stands out. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know if this is really working too much. And I think is the next one the final one?
Let's take a look here. No, the next one I threw up is the behind the scenes.
Okay, yeah. So you could just kind of
we can bring that up, and that's what.
Oh yeah. So you see what I mean? So I have So I have a couple blue lights. So you see there's a light bar right above the figures, like above that garage door. There's another blue light that, you know, right there on the top right corner. So this is where I started changing the light up a bit, because I wasn't really happy with how that macro light was shining on Leo. So you could still see that macro light up top, but I changed it to blue. And so what I did was I used that bounce scar to the left, and I use a warm light there to kind of bounce the warm light onto the figures to kind of give it more of like a dramatic effect. But yeah, I started messing around with the light a lot more because I wasn't happy with how the light was looking at first.
Which makes sense. Now let me ask you this, because again, as an ignorant one, when you say macro light, what are you referring to?
Oh, okay. So, where did I put it down? I just literally had it in my hand, but it is. Oh my gosh! Sorry.
No, it's good. I'm putting you on the spot, brother.
So this is made by Small Rig, and it looks like Newer is making them too. But you see this? It is. It kind of has like a bendable neck. So these are called macro lights because
that's what's okay.
You can snake them around. You can have them like I've seen a lot of people where they use it from the bottom where it just shines a light on. Here, let me just turn it on. But it comes with different color. I mean, you can switch the colors up.
Okay.
Red, green, blue, bright white, again back to warm. Another cool thing about these, they come with different filters too. Let me see. Do I have them here? Yep, I have the box here. So let me just turn this off for a second. But these lights are amazing. I highly recommend them. I'm actually looking at getting a second one because they're so nice. But they come with all kinds of stuff. So, like they come with these little stencils. You can't really, it's hard to see here, but I like using this one a lot. But like you see how there's these stencils that you can put on it. So when you shine the light, it kind of gives that like window effect, like light shining through a window.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So
you can
there's
also do a home colonoscopy.
They got the the bat symbol.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, this thing's really cool. They're about $40-$50 on Amazon. Highly recommend them. But yeah, so
now I know what you're. Yeah, no. Thank you for the education on that for sure, my friend. Well, I've got that one in my pile, not pile of loot. I've been on BBTS too often lately. It's in one of my wish lists on Amazon. So yeah, I think that's. And you said it's a Small Rig.
Small Rig makes this one, but also Newer makes them, and see, it has like a diffuser right here that you can just take off as well.
Nice.
So that we don't get that harsh light on them.
Everybody in the chat is going to have a targeted ad for Small Rig. Just wait.
Right.
100%.
Honestly, that's how it worked. I think it was VinFaith. If you know who VinFaith is, on Instagram, he was promoting. Yeah, so he kept on having ads from him, and he was using them, and that's how I found out about him. And I swear, ever since I liked his photo where he was advertising them, I was getting the ads on Facebook. I was getting the ads on Instagram. What up, Sun Crayon Slayer? But yeah, right. And I was like, all right, I guess I have to buy it. And ever since I bought it, I don't get the ads anymore.
Oh, they got their money. They got your money. They don't care about you anymore. Yep.
Right. So you can still see right there.
So I do see it now. I see the macro light up top.
Yeah, right there. You can see it.
Yep.
Oh, and actually, you know what? I did go back to that wire stand for that the Foot Ninja. You could kind of see how I have it underneath the dio. And one of the hard things about this photo as well, when I was getting the framing down, is this dio's not really big, so you had to kind of go in close. You couldn't go in far because if you're too far, you'll see the ends of the dios where it ends, and that was another hard part of the framing. So that's why when I started, in that side shot, I was like, I don't know if I could really like it because, if I try to angle a little bit more, you might see the top of the dio where it ends or the side. So I was trying to get more in close.
Yeah, and that again with the size of the dio, definitely the size of the dio matters. Size does matter here.
Size
folks.
does matter. It does.
In photography, size matters.
Yeah. And also what you can't see here, I did use a little bit of for the final photo, there was a little bit of fog that was used with the Ulanzi fog machine. I always like running the fog through it and letting it kind of dissipate because it kind of gives it that like dreamy, hazy type of vibe in a way. Yeah.
Like
so even though you don't really see if you don't even really see the smoke, it just kind of affects the overall image. What's up, Jeff?
Right. gives it a kind of hazy, in the city at night kind of thing. You know, 'cause
Exactly. Yeah.
New York
yeah.
City in the summer at night, a little sticky and hazy.
You get that. You get that sewer steam coming up from the gutter. You
Oh
know?
man, it'll blind you if you get too close. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
I love New York, but it's true. It's back.
Yeah.
So all right. So again, great. Now let me ask you this: we've got the macro light at the very top. It looks like across the top of the dio. Is that a light that you have there? That
Yeah.
blue?
So
Okay.
that was just another one of these guys, like a light bar. I just
Yep.
had it at blue.
Mhm.
You know, it looks really dark blue, but I usually use this kind of like light blue. It just came out
Yep.
weird in the behind the scenes photo. Blue light, especially not even just for night shots, but blue light in general usually makes shadows pop out more. So if you're
Mhm.
really trying to go for like a dramatic, dramatic shadowy, you want the shadows to pop. And just a contrast in general. Blue's always like a light blue's always usually a go-to for mine. So even if it's a daytime shot, I try to still incorporate like a little bit of blue just to whether it's off the bounce card or whatnot, just to kind of make the shadows pop out a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something I've been playing with lately. The blue light. It is working to great effect,
Right.
and because I've realized you can mix it with a warmer toned light, and you get a great, like you were saying, it really brings out depth and
Mhm.
the shadows. I'm liking how that works. So yeah,
Jeff, I do
So-
sometimes, but for this particular shot, I didn't use one.
okay,
a polarized lens would work really well if you're doing a lot of outdoor photography
Yes.
to help
Mhm.
minimize a lot of that glare, a lot of that, so it doesn't look so blown out.
Yeah, exactly. And you get less of that like the lens flares and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
okay. So it's not as necessary for indoor shots. Yes,
Yeah,
no,
not-
or
I mean, not necessary. I wouldn't say you need it.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's mainly for like Steve said, it's mainly for outdoor.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I've been looking into that. I've been hearing things about that, kind of looking into that to see if
Yeah,
there's
like a
something I needed to go grab.
polarized lens, and then obviously making sure you're adjusting like aperture, ISO, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
camera.
Absolutely. All right. So we've got. Let me ask you one more thing. In the top, I guess looking at it, top right hand corner, we've got a light, a bigger light. What is that, and how are we using that? And how's that affecting it?
That was just more blue light.
Okay.
So I usually use a low ISO setting. So for this particular image, I'll even let you know what my settings were. So I was
Okay.
using a 50mm lens, which is aka the nifty 50. It's usually a
50-50,
go-to.
baby.
Yeah, a lot of people love it. But the hard thing about when you're using a lens like that, it's fixed. It's a fixed lens, so you can't zoom, in or out. So you have to position your camera at the the right angle, the right distance.
Mhm.
So that's one of the other hard things about this, particularly with this dio too, because it's not like a very big dio. So finding the right angle, the right distance without being able to zoom in or out, it's pretty challenging.
Mhm.
So also on this, I tend to use low ISOs a lot. It's like ISO 100 or 200. This one was at 100. So that light at the
Wow.
top right corner was just to try to get more light into the image.
Okay.
I did use a pretty high f-stop for this because I didn't want the foot ninjas to be blurred out too much.
Mhm.
So it was at an f14, and my shutter speed was at 0.8 seconds.
Oh, see now I don't even want to talk about my shot anymore.
No, you're okay. But yeah, I mean,
Pointed my phone at it and I pressed the button. Go.
Hey, you know what? I mean, again, a lot of these phones nowadays, they're just
Oh my
they're
God,
just
yeah.
so
They
good,
do.
man.
They
They're
do.
so
They
good.
are. Yeah.
You do
And-
some
and
really
even-
crisp shots with phones for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, even depending on the phone, well, not even just the phone, but you can download apps now, like for either iPhone or Android, where you can basically
Mhm.
have manual settings and adjust everything on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I do with my Samsung for sure. I've got all the there's a camera assist. Well, we'll get into it. I'll get into it.
Yeah.
I'll save that for my stuff.
I will say, like and there's certain phones that now they have it to where they can do photo stacking as well too.
Mhm.
I thought there was an app in there or something like that. So
There is.
Oh
if
wow.
that's the field, now that would be brilliant. Something
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
because-
something I want to play with for sure.
Yeah, that can definitely help because man, sometimes, especially on the camera, that's why like sometimes you want more things in focus, so you make the aperture, smaller actually technically. But then you have to like mess around with the other settings to get that photo, cleared basically.
Mhm.
Dude, Hunts Club, man, you're killing it if you're using an iPhone, man. He does really good
Oh
work.
yeah, very
Yeah.
nice stuff for sure. That's open camera on the Android. Now, Coda, I downloaded that. I haven't played with it yet. I need to. I'll have to check that out for sure. All right, so Sneaky, we ready for the final result?
Yes, sir.
All
Let's
right,
go.
let's do this. And here we go. Good God, my friend.
Yeah,
Good.
so this I was happy with it because I did, I do a little bit of Photoshop editing at the end, to make it more like darken it up a bit, the contrast up. But yeah, I was happy with the angle of the shot. You could see the action. You could see both foot ninjas. So you see how I switched that back ninja to where he's getting sliced in the neck too.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
and the positioning of the swords made sense because it's right at their necks. So yeah, and then my final settings as you heard me was ISO 100, f14, and 0.8 seconds on the shutter speed.
Very nice, very nice. And again, like you always, one of the things I always worry on certain colors for lighting is when you get the final shot, it's not necessarily drowned in those colors. You
Right.
don't want it to be drowned in those colors. It's you can adjust so it doesn't, which you did here. So it's not drowned in a blue light, but you still are getting the effects of what the blue light's doing to the image or for
Right.
the image.
And you could see, like, because I decided to move the warm light to the bounce card, you could kind of see it on, that side of Leo's face and like the front of his shell. You could see it more because I adjusted the warm lighting instead of having it come from the top.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the warm lighting and everything, that little off the bounce and everything like that, just to give him a little bit more depth. Sometimes if you don't have that bounce there, it kind of looks more flat and you don't really see as much of that depth with everything. So for sure, that looks great.
Yep.
And you can see the little rat on the bottom right corner.
Yep. There he is.
He didn't fall over. Yeah. And of course, I edited the stands out too, so that way,
Mm-hmm.
they're not just propped up on the stands in the final image.
Yeah, for sure. And like, let me ask you, when you're editing them out, editing stands out, what program do you use for that?
So I use just Photoshop and Lightroom.
Okay.
So most of the color grading here was done on Lightroom. And then on Photoshop is where I erase the stands.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So Lightroom does have an erase feature too, but I feel like it doesn't work as well as Photoshop. So I've been using Photoshop. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Classic.
With Lightroom, I could attest to that because it's very weird. Like it'll do on the erase tool and everything, it can be very precise at times, but I feel like when there is a need for an update or anything like that, it will give some wonky edits with everything.
Yeah.
Well, there's times where I can have like a perfect swipe and like, oh man, this looks fantastic. I'll do the same thing on another photo and it'll give me some kind of train wreck of an edit. I have no rhyme or reason.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
Because
That's exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, because nowadays Photoshop and Lightroom, their stand removal is AI assisted. Unfortunately, Terminator does affect those programs a little bit. So sometimes when you erase it, it tries to like fill in like it's supposed to fill in what's behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, like Steve says, sometimes it comes up with some crazy crap.
And so at least I'm not crazy, because everything you just said, that's what I've dealt with Lightroom, to the point where I just say, screw it, I'm not using it. It frustrates the hell out of me with that. Okay. So, because I've tried that, I've tried the erase, and even they had an update to the Android. And again, I use my Android for everything. And you can do. There's an erase feature. I've got a Samsung Galaxy S24, and you can erase stuff. You know, it's got a feature to do that. And with the most recent update to Android, it sucks now. It absolutely sucks. It used to be pretty good, almost great, and now I can't get it to work right. It just smears everything. It's like
Right.
it looks like, you know, one of those when you were a kid and you had that eraser that had way too much gunk all over it. So no matter how you erased it, just smeared everything everywhere. That's what my photos look like. So
Well, so like even like Lightroom at times where I will go to edit something and instead of giving me a wonky like kind of smear or anything like that, sometimes like, oh, can't do this right now. I'm like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's your thing. So
it's literally your job.
Right. Yeah. It's sometimes, you know, I'm trying to erase something and like I'm holding left click down and it's like not doing anything. I'm just like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna restart everything. Just, you know, restart my computer. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Photoshop gang, what's up?
what's up?
Yeah. And I'm glad to see I'm not the only one. That's all. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I'll say one of the hardest parts about getting the lighting down at the end for this, but you know, when I was switching everything up, I still wanted light, like the shadows to look natural, you know, where you could see the shadows, like as if the light's coming from the top. And one of the things I was worried about, if I was going to have the warm light bouncing off on the side, I wouldn't be able to get those shadows on the bottom that you see now. But somehow it still worked, and I think that's because of that macro light. Because I still switched it to blue, so you know it's almost like in my head it's like simulating moonlight.
Yeah, still pinning it down. That makes sense. Absolutely, yeah.
With something like that, like even having like the light almost behind it, you can even do like kind of a softer white to still kind of get some of that moonlight effect with everything. And still maintain those shadows. But I think everything looked really, really good. Really good.
Thank you. Yeah. I was really happy with how this came out. And I mean, after you know spending an hour and a half of just messing with the posing and the angles, you know, and like you guys saw, it went from a side view to like slowly moving over to the front and finally getting it right.
Very good.
That's great, man. No, that's a great shot. Right on. Yeah, and in case anybody doesn't follow Sneaky that's watching right now, at Sneaky Figures Instagram, there you go. Go follow him. I guarantee you guys already do. So 88 says, Sneaky, what I do is take two shots, one with the harsh, strong shadows and another neutral light. This way on Photoshop, you can pick and choose the strength of the shadows.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I kind of did that as well. That's why I was like kind of, you know, moving the lights around. I mean, Lou only showed like four attempts, but there was like realistically like 20, I think.
Yep.
You know, but but a lot of them were almost the same. It was just, you know, you finally get the one you want. Yeah.
40 shots to get one.
Like Alberto.
Almost every time. Almost. I'll tell you, I was so happy because a few weeks ago I was working on with the Drabarthi Sentinel, and I took a shot, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's it!" And that was the first time ever I done one shot, one take, done. I was blown away. I've never done it since, and I never did it before. So it's like that one lucky shot.
Yeah, and I think also when you start messing around with like those Dutch angles and whatnot, sometimes it's hard because you know, obviously, you know, you want to be up close in action, but honestly, what I liked about this final result was I did do a somewhat of a thanks hunt. I don't even think they picked one this week because they're so busy with San Diego Comic-Con. So we'll see. But what I liked about how this one came out was, you know, I did go with a little bit of that Dutch angle, but at the same time, Leo's still almost like upright. He's straight. He's not angled with the photo. If you know what I mean. Like he's like it's still kind of like centered on him. but you can
Right.
tell that it's angled. It's an angled photo because of the ground and whatnot.
Mhm.
So, and
Yep.
that was actually almost like an accident. I'm not gonna lie. I was just messing around, took it, and I was like, oh, he doesn't look angled. He's actually he looks straight. So I'm sticking
That's
with
awesome.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that works fantastically. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it keeps all the focus on him.
Yeah.
And so the surroundings altered around him. The world's revolving around Leo, right?
Exactly.
And the crop
Oh.
really sells it too, because like you got to think, there's a lot of times people will take photos and they're going to try to get the entire figure in there and everything like that. Sometimes just by getting that closer to crop with everything tells more of that action with everything.
Yeah,
More of that center right on his face. And like think of it like comic book covers, you don't have to necessarily have everything, but you get that that narrow crop with everything really sells the action.
Mhm.
And then also like for editing purposes too, sometimes depending on how you crop, that could really get a lot of your stands out of there, so you don't have to do as much Lightroom with Photoshop to get some of that out to kind of speed things up.
Right,
Very
exactly. Yeah, and don't get me started. One of the other biggest issues I had with setting up this photo, Leo's swords, man, because his hands, like the grip, it doesn't grip on his sword that tightly because the handles on his swords are really thin, and he has huge hands. So they kept on I won't say tipping over, but they kept on sliding.
Oh,
And
no.
even then, in that front sword, you can kind of see it's not 100% like into his hand. But I was like,
looks a
oh,
little
this is
loose
good enough.
for-
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, this
yeah.
is good enough. I'm done.
Like
Yeah.
sticky tack could definitely help, or I've even had times before where like a sword is so loose in a character's hand, like some of those twist ties that they use for like figures and everything.
Oh yeah, like
kind of
the
wrap that around, and like I
Mhm.
mean, it's a small edit, to maybe cover that up with everything to kind of keep it more in the firm grip with everything. But yeah, if the hand is too loose, yeah, it's a nightmare.
For sure. A spaded one.
Yeah.
Mick Dysentery, how you doing? He says,
Oh.
congrats to Sneaky for getting use out of that tune set. Now bump up the challenge and use Donnie with his stupid face options.
Actually, Spaded, last week I did one with Donnie and Michelangelo. I was doing my own version of the tequila dance when they do ninjutsu in the movie. So yeah. So those Donnie faces are hilarious. But yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So all right, now I probably should have gone first because now I feel
You're gonna crush it, dude. Come on, man.
we're gonna
got it,
crush
you
it.
got
Let's
it,
do
you got
this.
it.
All right. So we'll bring up my shot. And this was for
okay.
a couple weeks ago for another collab for the Savage Crucible Saturdays collab. And the theme was clashing steel, basically sword fighting, right? And
Mhm.
so immediately, and it was from a low angle too. That was the other part. And so immediately I knew my poses. I got the poses, I had the characters. So now it was to create the world around them kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so this shot was the beginning part, building the world. And so what happened was I loved the angle of this. I loved the pose. Everything was great. I really wanted to use these plants that you see in the background because I had just got them. I was like, oh yeah, I want to throw these into a shot because they're very colorful. And this was the first attempt, and I fucking hated it. There's so much. These plants created so much noise,
Mhm.
and really kind of took away from what was going on, in my opinion. So I was already out the gates frustrated now because it just was not. And then during this time, that the grass floor, like you were talking about, Sneaky, the grass floor on this setup is figures always fall over, always.
Yeah.
And one falls over, and then the other one falls over. Then one falls over.
Is this like the grass mats that you can get on Amazon, like those 4 or 5, the 4 to 8 pack? Okay, I have some of
Yep.
those. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and and they work great. Like, but when you're trying to do adjustments, it's just not quite. You've got to make sure that the feet are planted, or you're going to have that fall over situation if you wobble the table even slightly. because they're just kind of like they're almost resting on the grass rather than sinking into the grass. So you kind of got to sink them in a little bit. But so basically, the situation here was the frustration with the dio. I'd been playing with my new dio for all my shots recently, and it has a lot of different options and everything else. But I was trying to get away from it for this shot. It's like, oh, I've been using it too much. I need to change it up a little bit. So I went back to this one. And so again, this is just the plants just kind of distract. So I had to get rid of that. What I had as far as lighting is I've got a light right now back behind those plants to kind of shine a backlight. And again, the plants drowned out a lot of that backlight, so it didn't really affect it the way I wanted it to. So next up, I was determined to use those damn plants. Let's see what did I post here? Hang on, I gotta remember
back there.
I gotta remember what I posted back here. Oh goodness! All right, no, okay, I jumped. I didn't share everything. My bad. So there's a couple other shots in between that one and this one. So I started to change up. Got sick of the grass and said, okay, I'll go back to my stone floor. So we put that up. You can still see the background with I still got the plants in there, and I've got now the wall still got the same pose, but the angle's slightly different. And try to throw in some more things. Again, I felt like this was just taking away from the actual shot, the actual figures. I was concentrating too much on background, and this was not working. The plants had to go. So what I've got here is I've got a new backlight with like a red hue to it, and it's lying down, shooting the light up behind them. And so that affects the sky in the background. But again, it was just real messy looking. Was not happy how this worked out. So let's see, where's my mouse? There it is. What's up, Talib? Thanks for stopping.
Yo, Talib.
We'll see you soon. Yes. So again, frustrations there. The pose is still there. I'm good with the pose. The angle's off a little bit on this one. I've got them. I've got the Dravarthi. I angled him a little differently to try to draw out the sword, because again, we're trying to bring the focus to the swords. And in this one, again, with all the plants in the background, the Varnock sword is kind of lost in the shuffle. You can't even really notice it.
Lou, let me ask you this. How many lights do you have when you're doing a shot?
As many as needed.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember in this one, I know I've got a light kind of coming in from a top angle at their faces, kind of.
Okay.
And I think I did a pretty low light on this one. I think it was pretty low. You've got the back red light, which is, like I said, lying down facing up to try to kind of illuminate behind them. I was hoping to create some depth with that, and it really didn't feel like I was doing that, because this almost looks like they're right up against that wall, but that wall's about almost a foot away from them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good 10 inches behind them, but it looks like it almost looks like he's right up against it. Now, I did not have, again, and I'm still messing with the lights and the angles at this point. And in this one, I didn't have any light pointing at that wall, which would bring out some more of that depth. We get to that in a little bit, where I started improving things. But again, my biggest frustration, and this is just me being stubborn, it's like I really wanted to use the stupid plants that I bought.
I want to get what I paid for. I get it.
Exactly. It's like, I got a prop, I want to use it, damn it.
Yeah.
They just weren't working, and I've not even messed with these things since. I'm actually pissed off at them. But so the next step was, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the plants, because I think the dio's almost there, or at least it's kind of shaped. It's looking all right. It's looking kind of neat. So we moved to this. Now I've got a little more depth here, and I removed the plants and I put in the stairs and the archway, but again, and I had a few people that saw this one because I posted all this series of shots on Instagram a few weeks ago after the fact, and I was actually, a few people said they liked the almost red washout here.
Yeah, reminds me of like
first-
Conan or something, you know, like fighting in the like the red desert type of thing.
Right. I was frustrated at this point, so I hated it. So I didn't go with it. So we eliminated it. But looking back at it, I'm like, okay, I can see where it's not bad. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's doable. But I thought there was too much red in this one, and I had a red light coming down on them,
in the
angled
front or
more
behind?
in the front,
Okay.
and I had the red light from behind. Still,
Is it still going up? Going up?
yeah, still facing up. And I tweaked that one. I turned that up a little bit more for some more power coming up through the archway, and it's all right. I like the angle here, and I like the fact that you can see the clashing of the swords. But I was not sold still. I thought there was too much red light, and it wasn't enough depth for me. So we tried again. And let me see which one we did next.
Yeah, see,
remember.
Winford. Yeah, that's kind of like that. Yeah, like fighting near a volcano type thing too. Yeah. that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's something I'm definitely going to revisit as far as lighting for a different shot, and still try to play with it. But yeah, at this point I was angry. Okay, I was just angry. I was probably cursing the damn thing out. So then the next step was we lessened the red light coming up front, kept the red in the back, and you can see like it almost looks like a red cloud back there. I liked this shot a lot. Almost went with this shot, but the more I kept looking at it, the more I kept realizing that the Varnak's sword is completely lost in the color. Right?
I see what you mean. It kind of blends in with the background, like the
column there,
arch.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I could have chosen a different sword, but I'm a stubborn bastard. He already had his sword in hand, and I wasn't going to mess with his pose. So I was like, okay, how can we get the sword into? And I did a couple more angles that I didn't bring for this, and the sword was just getting. I probably could have messed with lighting, and probably would have helped. I don't think I thought of it at the time, because I was really trying to get this shot done.
I mean, I think lighting wise, I mean, honestly, if the position of the sword, like if it would be more like in the archway, I feel like that red backlight would make that like defined a little bit more in the back, so it would make it pop out a little bit more. I feel like, but
like kind of having aim a little bit more forward with the sword.
yeah, and so like having that archway more like a little more centered on that, so then it like that red light is kind of shining more directly at them, and then it kind of will break out. Well, it will not break out. It will make the Varnak sword show up a little bit better.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. You're right. I didn't think of that. So, but again, that's the journey, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That good point on that. So anyway, yep, that's where we were at. Almost went with this one. Didn't like the fact that the sword was getting drowned in the photo. You could not see it at the time. For whatever reason, because you're 100% right on that. I have no idea why I didn't think of that, Steve.
You know what? A lot of times, like you stare at the same pose for so long, like, all right, I got to get this locked in. I get this locked in, and then you kind of almost forget about some of the other things that are going on around the shot. Like I'm like, and then you don't notice it sometimes until like you're editing. Like, damn it, you already broke down the figures and all that stuff. I'm like, now I got to set all that up again. That can be
That's the worst when resetting everything up. Man, when you thought you're done. Lou, I had a question for you actually. Since you're still using your phone, and I know like 88 brought it up, and I talked about it a little bit on my shot, with the Dutch angling. When you shoot with your phone, do you just shoot normally, like your phone, your camera's up top, and Okay, so you like normal, like you shoot like this, right?
Yeah. So typically you like this, or if it's
Like
landscape,
a landscape.
the lenses will be at the top. And Steve, you had talked about this. I have not tried that yet. Upside down.
That's what I was gonna say. Upside
Mhm.
down, because
Mhm.
upside down you can get really good. If you're gonna do a Dutch angle, you're basically getting an angle from below, basically facing up.
Mhm.
That's something I started to do. When I was still taking shots with my phone. I don't know. I actually heard the funny thing is I heard this trick first from like cousins and friends, especially like females, when they ask you to take a picture of them. They always say, "Oh, can you turn the camera upside down?" I guess because it makes them look better, or I don't know. Like they say,
Okay.
"Oh, we come out looking better if you do it that way." And I was like, "I'm gonna try this with figure photography."
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh shoot, it does work," So
That's a great idea. No, it's
yeah,
definitely a great idea. Now, the only
yeah.
problem that I could see, the only issue I have is I'd have to have the tripod and everything holder that I've got for it. I don't
Mhm.
think will let me because it's going to cover up the lenses. I'm gonna have to figure out
Oh
how to work
yeah.
that.
You just
Um,
you got to find one of those that just have like the phone tripods that just have a clamp on the sides.
Yeah, yeah.
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that. Something to mess around with for sure. So yeah, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. I need to try it.
Yeah, because you can get in a
Um,
lot closer with the camera on the bottom
Mhm.
to the figures.
mhm.
Oh, there you go. Winfred's doing
So
it.
yeah, Winford's doing that. Fanboy's
Fanboy.
doing that.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
Craft beer picks. Hell yeah.
Great tips for sure. Now we'll 88. I see your question. We'll get into that in a minute because that's a great question, and we definitely need to go talk about that for sure. Didn't want you to think I forgot you, brother. So all right. So here we go. So at this point, I'm reaching my point of frustration because, again, I like a lot of what's going on in here, and I probably could have messed with, like I said, probably could have messed with some lighting or the angle and gotten a successful shot out of this. But I ended up scrapping the damn thing completely, and this is my final shot. I said, "Screw it, we're putting them inside.
All
We're putting up the
indoors.
walls. I can work with this." And so we went back to the basics and put them in a different setting where I could get the angle of the swords that I liked, got the lighting that I liked, and this was the final shot. And so
Yeah.
basically, it was just a matter of continuously resetting the dio in the background
Mhm.
to fit best with the figures. So yeah, it's
And
one of
I
those
gotta
things.
I gotta commend you on like the different placements with everything. I know a lot of times people get focused on like one pose and like, all right, I
Mhm.
gotta make this work. I gotta adjust my lighting and everything. Sometimes just rotating out where the camera's at or even positioning of the figures can definitely really open up things to make things a little more like, oh, cool. I never thought about this position, and it works better than what I was initially thinking with everything. So don't feel like
Mhm.
you ever have to be like locked in one position.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. And that was a tip that I was also given a few weeks ago, not for this shot, but for another shot for the collab, the Savage Crucible collab. That freaking group, great people in there, and I've gotten a lot of help from everybody. But it was Brianna, Power
Mhm.
Scows,
Yep.
who had mentioned on the shot that we were doing. She was one that mentioned, hey, angle it differently. Bring it in closer and angle it differently. It's really going to impact the action and bring out action out of that photo.
Yeah.
And so I worked with it and tried, and sure enough, 100% correct. It was a world of difference. I was blown away. So yeah, we do fanboy.
That
Most
reminds me, I need to
definitely.
get my shot in for this week too. Damn it.
Yes, you do. It's an easy one this week, man. Just
The
some
cup. Yeah.
just some punching.
And this is the
we're
same.
we're not supposed to say anything. Oops, sorry. You guys didn't
This
hear
is-
anything.
This is the same dio that you had in all the shots too, right? Just arranged differently.
A lot of it. Like again, we changed from the grass base to
Yeah.
the stone,
Mhm.
And then I had, I'd had one of the stone walls up, and then I ended up putting all the stone walls up and just getting rid of the background. I had a pillar one of those pillars was way in the background, but you couldn't see. I had it turned around so you couldn't see the torches. This when I put the pillars in with the torches. Otherwise, mostly the same stuff. Yeah, it's just readjust until we figure it out.
Gotcha. And those torches are lighted too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
This
that's
is
cool. Yeah.
yeah. That's what I got from Jimmy HVX Customs, and he had done those pillars for me last year. I had bought those from him last year, and it's a little light, and I think he makes the flames with hot glue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've seen that. John Davis did that for that campfire thing I got from him.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, you got the campfire too. I
Yeah.
got that
I
one.
love the
Yep.
campfire, dude. It's
That's
so cool.
awesome.
What's so funny is I got one from him years ago, and I'm like, oh crap, he's still doing this, like awesome stuff. But yeah, man, he's come a long way with the stuff, man.
Yeah.
He's doing really good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Billy, it's huge. This dio, the base is 2 feet by 2 feet. And,
Oh wow.
And that can be broken down by there's 4, essentially 12 by 12. It's actually 12 by 13 for the base, and then so you can break it down however you want. You can make it a square, or you can make it lengthwise, or whatever it is. It's completely modular. There's 7 walls. One of them's got a door, one of them's got a window. The others are all basically plain walls.
Wow.
It's huge. It's huge.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Did I build it myself? No. I paid Jimmy HVX Customs. He is the genius dial maker, not me.
Do you want to tell him it just started off as a floor, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw walls in there?
Yeah, that was the initial plan. All I asked him for initially, we were just going to do a floor, and and then as we got talking, and if you know Jimmy, he'll talk you, and I'm not saying that in a bad way either. He'll talk you into some amazing stuff. He's like, "Are you sure you don't want a wall?"
Yeah, Jimmy is super talented. Like he's crushing it with some dioramas, man. Some really fine work for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep, very much. It was. Did everybody get all our pre-orders? No, I actually didn't. No, let's not talk about that. Maybe magnets. Yeah, magnets. Yes, it is.
Oh yeah,
magnets.
Magnets on the walls. Yeah.
Yep, magnets on the walls, magnets throughout the floors, and he set it up so that you can place the walls in all kinds of different ways, and there are magnets connecting out, so you can do diagonal, and it's insane, man. It's I love this thing,
dude, man.
I do so much with it.
So many good dial makers, man. So many.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Hans Club. I appreciate that, brother.
Hell yeah.
And so I'm going to try to do like sneaky here and tell you my settings. Here's what I can tell you. First off, again, Samsung Galaxy S4, not even the Ultra, just the regular. The ISO, because you can set ISO. There's a lot you can set. There's some that you can't. Like your aperture, you can't set on a phone yet. They're not set up for that yet. So the aperture is basically automatic. What's up, Green Geek?
What's up, Zach? How are you, brother?
Yo.
Good to see you, brother. The ISO I had set at I believe it was 400 for this one. That's about all I can tell you. There you go. I took the shot.
Now you got me thinking. I don't remember what my settings were on my shot. Damn it.
Oh, I cheated. I looked at my phone because I have the shot uploaded to my phone, and it saves it on the albums, or like the phone settings right here. Like you could see it all right there.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So I'm like, whoo! I was like, I could just look back.
Most of the settings I know, because like I said, I use the pro version on the pro camera rather than just the basic on it, and I love it. It's great with it. I downloaded the camera assist, which helps with that. And then you can tweak your settings. Even on the pro, you can do everything manually, or you can just set it for auto. I set most of the stuff for auto. I'll mess with the focus manually sometimes if I feel I need to. And ISO, I generally I try to keep it around 400. 300 to 400, 320 to 400.
Yeah.
Typically, if you go lower than that, I've found I've got to light it a lot more.
Yeah, that's when you need a lot more light. That's why when
Mhm.
you were asking me about what are all those lights for, it was
Yeah.
because I was using ISO 100, so I needed more lights to basically not have a black photo, basically, you know.
Right.
Because I usually
Right.
tend to in this room, I tend to have all the room lights off, so it's basically dark,
Mhm.
and I just try to have only the lights I'm using on.
Yep. Yep. I generally will try to do the same.
Mhm.
So yeah, you just notice and see, I like that's Billy. That's one of the things. Camera setting. Camera setting. Turn on the phone. Activate camera app. Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Now I do have a little clicker thing, so I'll leave the phone on the tripod, and so I don't have to
Oh,
touch it.
the Bluetooth
And-
clicker, yeah, yeah.
The Bluetooth clicker, because I inevitably before I had that, anytime you have to touch the thing, it would shake the camera too much. So
Yeah.
it just drove me nuts.
Yeah. So on my camera, just going back to that, I actually
Hmm.
have a setting on because mine's a T7. It's not like a brand new camera, so it doesn't have the function where you can use a Bluetooth remote. So
Mhm.
what I do, because just like you said, Lou, if you're taking the shot and you're holding the camera and it takes a shot instantly, that vibration can mess up the image. So what I actually do was I put on a 2-second timer, so once I click it, I could step back.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's smart. That's smart. I didn't even think of that. 88 says, I don't know what my photo stats are. I legit just mess around about my camera until I hit that perfect look. What I can tell you is to never use auto anything. They all suck. I'll die on that hill.
Right. I mean, when you do use it, it doesn't do what you want. It'll still make a pretty decent image, but
Yeah.
you'll start noticing it's like, I didn't want focus on that. I wanted this to
Mm.
focus on. Yeah. So,
Mm.
yeah, I'm the same way, 88.
Yep, for sure. All right. So that's it. That's it for mine. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other pointers I can give you. I can tell you this, and again, this is not snobbery. This is simply fact because I don't know what I'm doing. There was no further editing on this. It didn't go through Photoshop or anything like that.
Okay.
This is that's the picture. That's it.
That's the raw photo.
Yeah. So I rely heavily on lighting. So I'll take like we were talking about, like Sneaky said, 99 shots of the same shot until I, get it as right as possible. I rely heavily on my lighting. If the lighting sucks, my shot's gonna suck because I don't know how to edit. So there you go.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Thank you. So we're gonna move now to Steve's shot.
Let's go.
Let's do this. Hang on, sorry. There we go. Toys are fun to use.
Ooh.
Toys are fun
That's
to use
out.
as models. Catering for toys is zilch because I can't read tonight. I'm sorry, Stu. Toys are fun to use as models. The catering for toys is zilch besides your own.
Own craft.
Zilch besides your own craft service need. Hail to I think Stu's channeling his inner Matt with 2 T's on that one. Thank you, Stu. Damn you, editing. Yes.
Oh, this
All
guy.
right.
This is the mythic guy, right?
This
Oh
is-
yeah, it's Kai Paka.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
missed out on this guy. You were asking about the wait list function earlier, Steve. I jumped on the wait list for him.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that converts.
This one is going to be a hot one for sure. I feel like this one, and then what's the other one? Azar, and then oh god, the goblins from that wave. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah.
So this one, Lou, this is kind of how it started off. I feel like I know I have kind of a tendency to always have something with like a heavy backlight behind it. I wanted to try something maybe a little bit different where it's not just straight in front of the window with everything, maybe have an angle there. Like
Mhm.
kind of what we were talking about before, like with your shot, how the blade kind of blended in with the stone. That's where I kind of had that same issue with this here, where I'm like, okay, this kind of looks like it blends in a little bit too much. There's not really any light hitting it to where it's giving any of that distinction on that. So I tried futzing around here a little bit. So with positioning, and that's kind of where the pain in the ass is. because this, I mean, it was just on a flight stand, like one of those ACBA flight stands,
Mhm.
but trying to get it positioned just right and not having the character like tip, like every time I would try to do a photo and everything like that, it would shift just a little bit and then completely fall off the stand. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So essentially what I did, like, again, to get it in there just right, sticky tack in the hip joint, put it in there, and for the most part, it holds it pretty firm with everything. And then with this here, like, this is an Eric Bryson Dio that I got at CarverCon. So I've
Thank
got
you, Iman, for stopping.
him right
he
there
makes
on the
good
steps.
stuff. Yeah.
Dude, he is so good with everything, man. He brings like some, like, his booth at CarverCon, like, he had so much stuff.
He makes really good fantasy dios.
I
Really.
know, yeah.
Yeah. And then so yeah, with this one I was kind of I wasn't really overly happy with the pose with everything. The blade in the background with everything was kind of blending in too much with like the pillar of the window. So I'm like, I gotta kind of finagle this. The light on the right hand side, I definitely felt like it was a little too blown out with everything. I want to make sure it looks like there's torches going, but I don't want it to look like it's just like completely blown out to where you can't see that detail.
Mhm.
So something as simple as here, like how the light is positioned, instead of having it aimed directly at what I'm trying to light, sometimes I might even rotate just a little bit to where it's not getting, it'll maybe get like a fraction of that light.
Yeah. I do that a lot too.
Yeah. So, and then with that, like when I'm doing like the side lighting and everything, I don't go crazy high on the power on it, like maybe 10 at very most. Sometimes not even that. Sometimes I might even have it as a 5 and then have it on like a bounce card, like hitting it like a white sheet of paper, or even where's the white box here? I've got like a white box and I'll literally bounce light off of that. Just something to give a little bit of reflection with everything, so it's not looking as harsh on the photo. That kind of helps with everything. So doing that, kind of futzing around with this pose, and then I'm a sucker for using fog effects. I use a little portable fog machine. I used to use that atmosphere aerosol. It's not really good for you indoors, so I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
You know?
all that. Yeah.
So I ended up using like a Helson. So it's a portable fog machine. So I'll have that big light in the background with everything, kind of not directly behind it, but maybe off to the side of that window. And then I'll have my camera, I'll do like a 10-second timer. So that'll give me a little bit of time to kind of paint in a little bit of that fog. And then once everything hits, it kind of helps disperse that light a little bit. So it doesn't look as, I mean, you still get that cloud effect wisping in with everything, but it really kind of helps backlight it a little bit better with everything. I always try to do like lower light shots with everything. I always feel like when I first started, everything I did was so blown out and everything. So I kind of really try to get comfortable with having darker photos. And then I'm trying to think what else I use for this one. Maybe go to the next slide with everything. So
I'll use fog machines.
Vape.
I just use vape, and I don't.
Hey, the fog machine, it's very similar. Using the same type of like syrup, you know.
For sure. Yeah, no, I've had people do that as well too. The nice thing about the fog machine is you can get some different effects on there. So instead of just the straight fog, a lot of times they'll have like that dry ice effect. So it'll kind of have that ripple fog like on the floor.
Yes, with a sponge, when you use that sponge.
Yes.
Okay. Really good.
I've even seen people do the fog machine, but what they would do is they'll take the tip and they'll dip it in like bubble mix, and then they'll fill up the bubble with the fog, and then as it hits the figure, it like kind of like forms around the figure with everything.
Like a fog bomb or something.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it, like the fog is like coming off of the character with everything. I've seen that a few times, which is a really cool effect. But again, it's painstakingly just to get it just right. So we talked about like me taking a whole bunch of photos with the fog. That's very much the reason why I take so many photos, because everything it could vary on how the fog looks in the light. Sometimes it'll wisp into the actual shot. Sometimes it'll look a little bit too blown out in the back with everything. So you got to kind of pick and choose on how much you're wanting to dial that in with everything.
And I don't know about you, Steve, but with me, so I have to turn off the AC when I use the fog machine.
Yes.
And then you're working in the heat. You're just like, oh my god, I need to turn this back on soon.
Yeah, can't have the
Messed
fan
up the
going.
smoke. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. So anytime the AC comes on, like I'll normally be able to shoot straight down and it'll turn out perfect. But that little bit of gust and it just shifts everything over like so fast. I'm like, well, there goes half of it. So
Yeah.
Good luck even trying to do this stuff like using one of these outside. Man, that's painstakingly. The wind has got to be like nil. You can't have any movement. And half the time it's like, oh, one shot will look perfect, next one it'll blow everything right to the camera. Like,
Yeah.
Just like
that.
Winford.
Yeah.
You think it's hard using fog inside? Try it outside.
Oh my
Needing
God,
perfect
yes.
timing.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
That's why that 10-second timer is so crucial with everything on that. With you can kind of dial in how much you want to do it, but man, it really depends on the elements for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, you want to? Can we move to the next slide on this one?
Please.
All right, sir. And we got
We're going different lighting. So now with this one, instead of having just the side lights with everything, I ended up using some more of these lights, kind of more up top and like forward. So now we're getting a little bit more of the actual face of the thing. Where the first shot, it was looking a little too dim with everything. Yeah, the lights on the side were very hot with everything, and it was getting the character lit up, but the face I felt like was kind of a little left out with everything. So what I did with the side lights for the rim lighting, like how we talked about, just kind of turning it a little bit and then dialing down the power on that. So then that gets me a little bit more of that warm, like flame or candle light on the side. So it kind of sells like, all right, he's in a castle kind of thing. It doesn't look like it's too blown out with everything. Yeah. And then again, the difference in the fog, right? Positioning with everything with that. Sometimes it kind of creeps into the actual window. Other times it'll stay behind. So then again, it's like, all right, kind of futzing with that. And then again, balance, trying to get this thing just right. Kind of getting frustrated because I'm like, do I have the blade scoot over a little bit more in the back so it's a little more in the blue? So you can kind of see it in the window, or do I have it kind of where it's at with everything? It'll look more of that natural pose, like him swinging it out to the side. Because when you're running, your forward leg, hang on, am I doing that right? Yeah. So the leg that you're bringing forward first, that arm is behind you, and then the opposite arm is going forward for more of that natural run pose with everything. Trying to get that, and then just really kind of convey movement, I guess, with everything. So we can go to the next one if you want.
Okay. All right. And let me touch on that real quickly, kind of expand with you on that. That's something that is it's great that you mentioned it. We sometimes, I think, we can forget that, this is an action figure. And one of the things that's helped me in posing is exactly that, is to try to do the pose to a degree myself in front of the mirror, right? To get a feel for what the figure should look like in that pose, because of naturally how your body moves, right? So like if you're going to be like on one knee with like with my shot, it was when I initially posed them out, the Varnock was on the wrong knee, because I sat there and I looked at it and I'm like, he's going to fall right over on that knee. So I switched it so he was on the other knee, because that would work for him to be holding the sword and trying to protect himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about that counter rotation chop. Like he's going to be from one side, bringing it to the other when he's swinging.
Exactly.
Unless he's going straight up and down with everything.
Yep. Exactly. So another, quick little tip, if you're thinking about how to pose an action shot, literally look at yourself in the mirror and figure out from there how it might look.
And then also for like talking about posing and everything like that, a lot of the stuff, if you are a fan of comic books, you read comic books, really using references of that stuff as well too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I practice posing figures in general. Like take a Spider-Man figure, look up.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, comic shots, and that's how you practice your posing.
Yeah, there was a book a few years ago, and I forget what it was, but it was actually written. Oh God, maybe I have it here still. I have to dig it out. But essentially, what it was all these comic creators, and they were just doing like different posing. So like if they ever got stuck or had like a kind of a brain fart on how to move something. Oh, here it is. Masters of Anatomy. They had this. God, this is a Kickstarter like years ago, and essentially what it was is like all different poses, like with weapons, without weapons, and then just kind of like female figures, male figures, and then just a kind of a slew of stuff. So like if you're ever getting that, like having those kind of books to kind of reference points. But again, comic books obviously much cheaper than something like that. But again, helpful tips like with that. So just kind of if you're ever feeling like you're stuck, or like I don't know how to pose this guy or what to kind of do, sometimes that just a little nudge. You know, oh hey, maybe I'll try it this way, or maybe see how this works. Like how you said with the Spider-Man comic books and everything like that. That's right. Character, like just to get any type of dynamic pose.
Right.
That makes sense. That's great. Real quick, got a question for you. I don't know where, Steve, this is a question from you from Hoth the Basher. What's going on? Thank you for coming out, my brother.
Toy Man. So for us, it's actually going to be quite a while before we're back at Toy Man. So last 2 weeks ago, we were at CarverCon when the July show happened. The next show, I believe, is in August, like August 23rd. I think that's the same weekend that we are going to be at Indie Geek Meet in is it Danville, Indiana? Somewhere in there. But yeah, and then I feel like, oh God, the next one after that might be the same time as it's either going to be Titans or it's going to be the Chicago Toy Show. And then the November show, I'll be at Legions Con. And then, so the next one after that is going to be in December. So it's going to be a ways. So I do apologize. But if there's something you're looking for, definitely send me a DM or something like that. So, but yeah. Get back to Toy Man.
Right on.
Great show. Nothing wrong with that show at all. But again, a lot of times with the shows out of town with everything, we try to hit the tour, so the guys that do Toylanta, he also does Joelanta. I think that's in September. Like shows. Indie Geek Meet, they also do the Indie Toy and Comic Expo. So again, 2 shows there, and then Legions Con. Again, that's the one, but again, that's the furthest one I feel like we go. That's about 15 hours for us to get out that way, but definitely going to be a very interesting weekend for sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you at Titans. Hell yeah, we will see you at. I'll be at Titans too. So definitely see you guys there.
Titans, I feel like is definitely shaping up to be very, very big for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a fun one for sure. Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah.
And agreed. Hey, bring that back up, Steve. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, my bad. I don't know which buttons to hit, so there we go.
Yep. And then shameless plug. I know I was hearing some people in the Savage Crucible group were getting remaining balances for their death dealer in their emails today. So we might be closer than we think.
Yeah.
I've heard.
My cousin got one today.
Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. I'm very excited for this figure.
Mm-hmm. Big time. Me too.
My idea backfired. I pre-ordered from Toys Metaverse, which is based in Hong Kong. I figured since it's coming from there first, maybe I'll get it first. But no, I still haven't gotten a second payment yet.
Oh yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, with Savage Crucible, I feel like they push out their direct orders first, and I feel like for like the retailer side of things, I feel like they get to us pretty quickly after that. I don't feel like there's a big gap in between. It's not like, hey, you're selling it for a few months and then you get your inventory kind of thing. It's like, hey, we fulfilled our orders, now get to it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hunts Club, I'm with you. This past year for me has been big sword and sorcery collecting. It shifted.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm getting there too as well. Yeah.
Dude, I just gotta think in general, man. Like, I feel like this year for toys has been just freaking nuts. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm a huge fan of like sword and sorcery, myth and fantasy. But hell, I mean, even the stuff that with Valiverse or even Acid Rain, like they started making 6-inch figures as well too that move like really well. Yeah. I mean, just an explosion of stuff. Like, so much good stuff out there.
Yeah. It's been a fun year for sure. Yeah.
My wallet doesn't agree, but yes.
Yep.
All right. So Steve, let's get this back on topic. I'm sorry. No, you're fine. You're good. So I want to bring you back to this shot now.
Yeah. So then it's like, okay, I was like finagling with the tail. I'm like, all right, I can't really, the tail is not like super bendy, so I can't do that. So it's like a ball peg into his hip. So you can't really like maneuver that around too much. So I'm like, okay, trying to have that be like a natural tail position with everything, and I just got frustrated with like positioning and then having the figure constantly fall over. So again, I kind of worked a different angle. We can go to the next slide on that.
See, I like the way I like the shift here, especially with the swords. I thought that was, definitely you were on the right track at that point.
Yeah, so then now I kind of worked a different angle. So the kind of how I was getting all hung up about how the right hand blade was like kind of a little bit drowned out on the background with everything. Now I have it a little more shifted to the side. So some of that rim lighting is hitting the blade. So now I'm giving a little more definition to what he's holding in his hand, not just like a silhouette of the item with everything. So
yeah, you could see it more.
Gotcha.
It's more in focus.
Yeah.
I apologize, guys.
Real quick,
I do have to go because I have to jump on Talib's stream now.
Oh,
yeah.
Great.
No,
I know.
Thank you so much for being here, for sure.
No, well, yeah.
Yep.
It's good seeing you again, Steve. Lou, as always.
I appreciate you, Sneaky, always. Brother.
Yeah, shots are looking great. I'll catch the rest on replay so I can see that final shot, or I'll check it on Instagram.
Good deal.
I'm sure,
Definitely.
And I'll see you in the groups too. The Instagram groups. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And
guys.
when we're done here, we'll flip over onto check you out, and we're rooting for you on Will actually. So
all right, thank you guys. Thanks, pleasure again to being here. Thank you guys.
Sneaky.
Be safe.
Take care.
All right. So
All right.
yeah. So now
Yes, Vala is at Titan Stew.
For sure. Yeah. So Vala is going to have a exclusive, and then Savage Crucible is going to have a true exclusive plus debut figure. So there's definitely going to be a lot of loaded drops for sure.
Yeah. Big time.
So have your wallets ready. That's all I'm saying. But yeah. So looking more at that dynamic pose with everything, getting some more of that backlight. Again, having that fog kind of disperse a little bit more, so it's not too heavy on just one side over the other. So then I've got the rim light on both sides. I feel like the legs are a little more detailed, a little more not just like blown out or anything like that. So again, you can feel like he's like running through a castle. There's like torches around and everything. So again, it's kind of giving more of that lighting with everything.
Yeah.
And then going with like the lights that I have here, just kind of getting a little bit of an angle on that to where it kind of lights up the face. I'm still not entirely happy with this, but at that point, just because again how the lights are hitting, the one eye is looking really well lit, the other one is looking a little dim. So I'm thinking like, all right, what do I need to do to kind of get a little bit more light on that, but not have it look blown out? So sometimes if you add more light to one area, you're going to get more of that like reflection or kind of like a blurry spot on there.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing some post editing, obviously to get rid of the stand, and then also to dial up the eye. So like on Lightroom, they have a feature where it's like a brush feature. So, and I just kind of really started using it probably a year or two. It was a big game changer. So for areas that are kind of dim and I just want to touch it up just a little bit, you use your brush feature over that, and then it'll let you adjust like ISO or like contrast. So then it's giving a little bit more light, or even sometimes if you want to adjust color, right? So sometimes like when I had a Naraka shot a while back, I ended up doing like he's got the red eyes with everything. I kind of wanted to punch those up. So you could do like the brush feature on that and then go to color and then kind of dial up the saturation level on that. So then you're getting a brighter look with the eye to kind of look more menacing with everything. I think with this one, when I did that, I just ended up just dialing up a little bit more of the exposure. And then I think I maybe turned up the green just a tad with everything just to kind of get the eye to pop a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, I think backstage we're going to have to, at some point one of these days, go over that. I want to know how you do that, because I tried doing something similar with Naraka to terrible results and scrapped the whole plan.
So with that, I will say that like if there's a complete absence of light with everything, you're not going to really be able to dial up the saturation without it looking wonky. Because what happens, like if there's not a lot of light already on the eye, and then you're trying to dial up the red, what's going to happen is it's going to give a lot of like different pixels in there. So what happens, instead of being like a true red, you'll see some like almost like green dots in there as well. Like kind of like it's like processing to kind of fill everything in.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, no. Again, I do all my editing with everything through Lightroom directly in my phone. We're watching a show or something, and I'm kind of doing some finishing touches on the editing and everything like that. So with this one, yeah, God, I'm trying to think. I had the aperture. I want to say the f-stop was 11. I just had it here, and then here we go. And then my shutter speed at 0.3. Okay, so with that, the f11, what happens if even if you have a lot of lighting and everything going forward, the depth, right? The f11, the higher the number, what that does is that kind of closes things down a little bit quicker, right? Saying that right? So you're not getting as much light into the lens with everything, so it can make it a little dimmer. So when you're having kind of that shutter speed at that 0.3 or like lower, then you can kind of dial in a little bit more on the lighting, and that will also help with the saturation. The ISO I did have up a little bit higher as well too. Like I was closer to like 2000 on that one, just because again it was pretty dimly lit. I was in a dark room with everything. So yeah, just definitely trying to crank that up a bit. Sorry, my computer is about ready to die here.
Okay, no worries.
I'm switching.
I might be going solo soon. You better plug that in quick. Like, hi guys, all by myself.
But yeah, so with that, yeah. So again, some different features with everything. Like we were saying earlier that Lightroom is great and all. What happens is sometimes it's not consistent. Obviously, if you're doing Photoshop, you're definitely gonna get some more quality. Obviously, there's different tiers. There's a free Lightroom, which again gives you basic features with everything, and then the paid one, which I think is like maybe $8. It might be a little bit more now. Then you're gonna get some of those options for like the edit tool to kind of take out flight stands or do some simple editing with everything. But again, it's not always consistent. And then obviously you need to have like Wi-Fi with that. So if you're off the grid or try to do any of that stuff, none of that's going to work. So
yeah. Okay.
Let's see here. But yeah, I mean, with that, they do have that AI generated feature to take out the stands. There is a little toggle on that where if you just wanted to do a plain edit to not have an autofill or anything, there's that option as well too. But with this one, so for the stand, so we have all that nice sculpt work of that dio behind us.
Yeah.
So when I was editing this out, it was lined up right with one of those columns, right? So what I had to do with this one, it was a little more that editing tool with everything. So they have a remove feature, they have a heal feature, and then they have a clone feature, right? So clone feature, if I edit something out, sometimes it'll blend in perfectly. Other times what has to happen, especially with all this like detail, you have to do a little bit of that clone feature so I can paint over with where I'm needing to fix up, and then it'll kind of try to match it with something else in the shot. And so like that, where I swiped, I just go ahead and put it over on one of these other sections here. And then that will give, that will basically take the place of what we just wiped out to kind of have it blend in a little more naturally with everything.
Nice. Okay.
So I'd say if you want to go to the next one, I think that we should be on the last one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
And then we can kind of show you exactly. Real quick, I'm going to do this quick twice because, Steve, what you were talking about, exactly where keep an eye on where the stand is. And keep an eye on the disappearance, and that'll kind of show where you did that. You kind of discuss where you did that clone thing, and it's seamless.
Yeah. So with that, it could be definitely very finicky. If you stare at it long enough, it still kind of makes me mad. But so there was a wider line to make sure I got everything for that position. What happens? Sometimes it's not quite perfect where it might have some darker edges. So if you really want to stare at it, maybe you might notice a little more shadows on both sides of it. But I feel like for the most part, it did blend in pretty well with everything.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And the thing you got to keep in mind, and again, we always talk about this, we are our own worst critics. So it's there, right? Oh
my God. Yeah. Like I will show this stuff to my wife and she's like, no, this looks really good. And I'm like, no, this is not lined up right. She's like, I would have never have noticed that if you would have told me. And I'm like, okay, all right. But yeah, again, it's like we're our own worst critics on that. And there's stuff like even at the point where it's like you get something done, you get it posted, and you're like looking at them like, man, maybe I don't like how that gauntlet is. Maybe I don't like how such and such is. And it's just, you kind of do some fine tuning with everything. I think a lot of times when we're talking about posing and everything like that, sometimes we just kind of rush it. We're trying to get a shot done as quickly as we can and move on to the next one. Sometimes even just kind of going through and kind of just spot checking, hey, how is my focus? How is everything in position with everything? And just kind of doing like a little checklist. When you're inside, it's a little bit easier. There's a lot of times where I can't tell you how many times I would have a photo that I was really happy with when I was taking it outside. I'm like, all right, cool, this is great. I get to the editing portion, I'm already packed up and back home.
Right.
And I see something where it's like, okay, the sword, like it's not quite in his hand, or it's like rotated a little bit, or like just little tidbits like that kind of irk me. So again, a lot of times just taking your time. And just kind of getting everything how you want it first. Don't feel like you have to rush through the process with everything. Because again, what happens is,
Steve, clearly the third pixel from the top left corner is a little off. Do better.
thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's the one. No, oh God, what's the one guy? There's Watu, Tom. He does a lot of 1/6 scale toy photography. There was one time he was doing a live stream. He's like, I will spend hours erasing pixels that none of you will see. But it's like, again, it's like he's so like detailed on that. But again, it's very much the same thing where it's like you got to almost kind of be meticulous on some of this stuff. You see it, like it irks you and you're like, all right, I got to change this real quick before I could be comfortable with the shot. So I can definitely see that.
Yeah, for sure. Guys on Moz Toy Box were giving me grief last night about a foot not being planted.
So in this position here, he's running. So if you're getting that heel strike, typically when you're taking a step, you land with your heel first, then go foot flat, and then go heel off, right? That's more like the kinesiology with everything, like movement. Again, if he's just standing there on one foot and stationary, yeah, that makes sense to have it flat. But again, if he's actually like in a dynamic run, hitting heel strike first is important with that, because therapy wise, hitting with your heel first helps straighten your knee, which in turn you're able to put more load through your leg and then step through. Sorry, dirty talk.
No, good.
Yeah, that's more of that natural motion with everything. Coda, were you in a static pose, or were you actually running? He'll get in the comments with that, but
yeah, he'll get there.
Yeah. But no, like, so stuff like that, again, just good foot placement. A lot of times, again, if we're talking about heel placement on this, if I'm going to like nitpick myself a little bit, maybe have a little bit more of that ankle rotation, so it's a little more flush throughout the heel instead of just more towards one side.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's fine for what it is. But again, that would be something to kind of position wise if I was going to nitpick myself with everything.
Right. And you got to keep in mind, okay, so he was moving. And you got to keep in mind too, it's the angle. What's to say that the way you're looking at it, if you were looking at it at a different angle, it might look more flush, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably where I started with everything. And that's kind of one of the things where I kind of a pitfall when I do a lot of photos. I kind of look back at it, I'm like, man, am I doing too much of the same stuff, right? I do the heavy backlight, I'll do like the fog and stuff like that. And a lot of times I'll have them almost centered in the window. So sometimes kind of working some different angles like we were talking about before, just to kind of give it a little bit of a flare. Obviously the backlighting gives you that separation with everything. But even just kind of working those different angles, the lower angle looking up, or even, getting straight on, sometimes you might not convey as much of that run as we're looking for, where now we're kind of swooped off to the side a little bit now, so there's a little bit more of that motion to that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. You just work in different angles. I don't know. And I was happy to hear you say that, because I like I was saying earlier, I feel guilty of that I feel like I might be doing the same damn thing all the time.
I'm guilty of it as well too. Yeah, for sure. And again, it's like, if you've got a tripod, whether it's with a phone or a camera, definitely kind of play around in that. Because I did a photo last night, and I liked it and everything like that, but then again, I feel like I'm locked into too much of one position where it's like, man, I took way too many photos. Yeah, I'm using like fog and stuff like that, which kind of throws some variability in there. But again, just kind of moving that around, to kind of get some different, or even really working different crops in there as well too, like we mentioned earlier. Sometimes I have this instinct where like, all right, I've got to have everything in there. You got to see everything of this diorama. And sometimes that's not even the case. Even if you kind of just zoom in just a touch, you're getting more of that, I don't know, kind of like less is more kind of thing. So.
Yep, for sure. Well, when you're building, and I was talking with, when Brad was on the show a few weeks ago, we were talking about that. When you put all that time and effort into your diorama, you're like, I really want the most of it to be in the shot, right? It's like,
for sure.
Sometimes you got to let go of that. Sometimes you want to know, you've got to, it depends on what is the main focus and the main subject of the shot. And you don't want to sacrifice the main subject of the shot just because you want to get that little tree in there. If the tree gets cut off, let the tree get cut off. It's okay.
And that's kind of very much why I kind of shifted more into Mythic Legions or Myth and Fantasy. I used to be a heavy G.I. Joe classified superhero-esque, and a lot of times where I was getting kind of some pitfalls of like setup and everything like that, it's like, oh man, I've got to set all this up and get it, or I'd have all these props and I want to make sure everything is kind of accounted for. And it's like, no, just sometimes, with the Myth and Fantasy stuff, I'm just going right outside. I don't have to bring around a diorama or anything like that. So I've got some variability in that where, with the superhero stuff, okay, now we got to make it look like he's in a city, or we got to make, get a whole dio set up with everything to kind of make sure it's selling that image like, oh, he's in a big city or doing something like that.
Yeah, and that can get challenging. 88, remember guys, just take the photo. It sucks now, it'll probably suck later, but that photo is taken.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing, like getting reps in, like, from where we started to where we're at now, you kind of learn things along the way. And again, like how we talked about, it was just like, oh, I feel like I have to rush through and get to the next shot, or I go like, oh, this person's posting X amount of times a week or a day. No, just big thing is just kind of focusing on as best you can and then kind of moving on to the next one with everything. I feel like sometimes people get a little caught up in the keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing. Oh, hey, this person's doing that, I got to do that too, or I want to, and a lot of times I feel like the less is more. If you really dial in a shot and you're like, hey, I really kind of made sure I walk through everything and I feel really confident about this one, I'm going to go with that. And again, I feel like that's going to carry over a little more in the long run instead of just like the quick shots with everything, just to make sure I'm posting every day with that. So that's my take. But
yeah, no, and I'm with you on that. If you start to get into that focus of I have to do this and I have to do that, things suffer more. And then you start looking at your stuff going, that it looks generic. It looks, I'm not really excited about it. I don't know what I'm showing off at this point because I don't even like what I'm doing here. So
yeah. And again, it's like, when it feels like it's a chore or like things you get like, okay, it's like, it's kind of just manufacturing joy. A lot of times with these figures and everything like that, it's like, I'm excited to shoot them, so it's just, again, I might not get to them right away with everything, but again, I'm more excited about what I'm doing in the process instead of like, oh, I got to do this one today, or I've got to do this one. Again, sometimes, again, just giving yourself a little bit of a reprieve. And I feel like people are very observant of that. Like if they're noticing like, oh man, he's really cranking out some shots with this, these look really cool with everything. I feel like it's going to resonate more with people instead of just like, all right, he just did some quick shots just to get through or just to post something,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to go back to this real quick. Well, not real quick, but 88 had a question earlier that I definitely wanted us to touch on because I thought this was great because I can speak to this and I'm sure you can too. How do you guys deal with your frustrations? We'd love some insight on that as well. Personally, I have about 99 plus unused shots.
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah. And again, it's like, I probably took about 20 or 30 shots of this in all different angles. The photo I did last night, probably much of the same. Again, I think the biggest variability is kind of giving yourself as much variety as you can. Again, I mentioned earlier, don't get locked into one position. Kind of giving yourself as much variety as you can with a shot, with everything. The frustration portion of it, again, you don't want it to feel like a job. I mean, This is really, I think for a lot of us this might be our checkout from our daily lives with everything. Like, hey, this is something that brings us joy. I think we came for these toys, but in the process, we've met so many other great people out in the world, because the internet, we all sharing our love for what we do, so definitely, make sure we're doing it for the right reasons, not just for status or any of that stuff, so again, doing it for what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And I know sometimes we can forget about that and get into that zone of, I have to put out content or whatever. And it sometimes for me, I know if I feel like I'm getting too deep in that zone, I got to take a step away and just walk away from it. If I'm too frustrated with a shot, I might walk away from it and go back to it tomorrow, or maybe an hour. I feel refreshed. And after an hour of getting away from it, I feel refreshed and I try again. Any of that kind of stuff helps. If again, like you said, it's supposed to be fun. We're not. I know I'm not a professional at this, and nobody's paying me for these shots, so this is purely for enjoyment. And so there's nothing wrong with taking a step back away from it, or even saying fuck it, and that shot's not anything. And again, you may revisit it someday.
Yeah.
Or you may not. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was a point, God, guys, like probably 21, 22. I don't think I posted for a good chunk, like several months. It was one of those things where, like, creativity, I felt like I was just kind of just getting stagnant with stuff, where it was just like I didn't feel that creative spark, and I didn't want to feel like I'm just like doing it just to do it, kind of thing. So, but in that time, I kind of, my interests shift. So instead of being more superhero, G.I. Joe, that's where I really fell in love with, Mythic Legions with everything. Again, it gave me some options where it's like, hey, I don't have to worry about setting up a diorama all the time. I could just be out inside and kind of doing that. So by shifting from me shooting strictly indoors all the time in one kind of setting with maybe some limited lighting with everything, now I'm able to use natural light. So now I'm able to get some pretty interesting shots. Yeah, could it be really frustrating shooting outdoors? 1000%. I could tell you I might have the perfect settings for my camera. Everything is lined up, posed up just right. A breeze moves the branch and it just moves a little bit more light and it blows out the shot with everything. And it's just like, it could be frustrating on that aspect, but high risk, high reward. You can get some really, really cool shots when it's at that golden hour, that hour right before the sun sets and the sun is at its lowest. You get that nice heavy backlight naturally with everything. I would say in that regards, also making sure you have like a bounce card or like a reflector to kind of use some of that light so it's not loading in as harshly, so it kind of gives more of that natural look with everything.
Yes.
But again,
yes.
Taking that step away kind of helped me refocus on with what I was wanting to do, and kind of gave me more inspiration. And in turn, when I got outside, now it was kind of more of a challenge to myself. Like, oh, hey, I know a lot of people do this outside. There's got to be a way to kind of fine tune this to make it better, right? So, a lot of the shots might look blown out. So now I'm really kind of dialing in my camera settings with everything. So now I'm, so it's not looking as blown out. Now it's looking more that natural or warm color tone with everything. Savage for life. I hear you, Tone.
Hell yeah. And that's it. It's just a matter, just a matter of finding new inspirations. Coda, I wanted to go back to this when he said, sometimes I just have a creative burst. I don't care if anybody likes it. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. I enjoy the journey, and the community is awesome. I found my people at 57. Hell yeah.
That's
brother.
Awesome, man. That's fantastic. But again, it's like, for the longest time, like I know when I was growing up, this stuff was so taboo. Like, grow up, like all the harsh things from family or friends. It's like, this stuff is what like brings me joy. Like I feel a creative niche with something like this, so it's like, I have two kids, 11 and 5. And I was told when I first had kids, like, oh, your life is over. It's going to be completely focused on them. And it's like, no, I want to still show them that you could still have things and be, and have fun with everything.
Yes.
I Lou, I mentioned when we were backstage earlier, I did therapy for a while. So I work with a lot of folks that were, retirement age and older, like, so from, God, 18 all the way up to 104. And,
Mhm.
a lot of times when we would talk with people, like, hey, what do you do for fun? And a lot of people really didn't have an answer to that. Like, so
Yeah.
there's no real hobby, so
Mhm.
it's like you're making it through life, and then you're not doing things that are exciting you. So
Right.
that's where I kind of felt like I'm going to lean more into this, because this is what excites me. This is what keeps me thinking on, like, ways to, like, I guess, improve, or kind of like a challenge, personal challenge.
Mhm.
And again, it's like, you get out and about in the world, and now we're seeing so many folks, so many talented photographers that are just, crushing it with photography, with everything, and just stuff you wouldn't even think of. And it's like, man, okay, maybe I wasn't a singular person. Like, there's such a huge community out here you don't really realize. But again, it's like you came for the toys, and you stay for the people.
Right. 100%. Yep. That's been the lesson learned in this journey, for sure. Yeah, no, it's exactly it. And for me, what I've always had that creativity in me, and for a long time, I was played professionally in a band for years, and we did as far as we could go until we said, okay, we're not going to get to where we can't make a career out of it, right? Very few can. And I knew that. We tried. We did okay for what we were independently. But when that part of my life finished, right around the time my son was born, I became a dad. So obviously, your focus is on raising your kids.
Yeah.
I didn't pursue music any further, and then my son's grown. Nobody wants to see this old man jumping around on stage screaming. So, and I can't play anymore the way I used to either. So, music was kind of out for me. All right. And I've been a collector for years, been collecting the figures, but needed a creative outlet. And that's what that became, right? That's what the photography side of it became. So it's not just figures on a shelf. It's I'm playing with my toys, let's just be honest, but that's okay. It's that creative outlet, and even the same with doing the YouTube shows now, and coming out here. This is a creative outlet. This is a way of, I will always miss the stage in one form or another, in one way or the other. So this kind of helps with that, which is nice. And that's important to go. What were you gonna say, Steve?
Oh no, I was going to mention one of these comments here. Eamon's World of Geek, talking about the f-stop. For sure, doing a shallower depth of field with everything will definitely enhance more of that specific portrait. A lot of times some of the benefits with that is the bokeh. So like if you're doing the outdoor photography and you got that backlight, if you shorten that f-stop with everything, now you get all these kind of like white speckles with everything. And it kind of, I don't know, it gives it a little more of that variety. Instead of just like a tree, you kind of see some more of that bokeh like you're talking about. Sure.
Yep. Absolutely.
But to echo with what you're saying, definitely expressing something to make the creativity, so it's like we're doing something, we're feeling like that the creative itch is being scratched, for sure.
It's great. And then, like you said, meeting people like that love this just as much, and getting to know everybody. That's the best part of it. So I'm going to use that to go into our next segment, which is the community spotlight.
Yay!
Community spotlight time. So bear with me just a second, because we've got a bunch of photos from you guys out there in the community. Bear with me while I click buttons and try to figure out what I'm doing here. So
Winford, for me, like, so you're taking photos on your lunch break with everything. Where I worked, it was I lucked out. It was one of the places we were taking patients to was a nature reserve, and it was a mile from my work. Stone bluffs, everything like that, all these nice little wooded areas with everything. And again, just opened up my eyes to that outdoor photography, for sure. Location is everything.
Yeah, that's something I'd like to give a shot. One of these days I will take the shot. Go outside.
He said the thing. He said it.
Okay, so here we are with got a bunch of photos from the community, from you guys, and I appreciate everything you guys submit, and I love to show it off. And so again, I would highly recommend, if you're on Instagram, and if you're watching this, of course, you're on Instagram for photography and toy photography. So definitely go check these guys out and give them a follow. And I don't think you'll be disappointed. I'm really enjoying what you guys are doing out there. So real quick, I just got to touch on, while I was digging through and figuring out which buttons to push, he said the thing. Oh man, you did just notice that, and I didn't see that. Taking the shot. Okay, I've got work to do. I've got something to fix. I didn't notice that either. Wow. Thanks for pointing that out, Coda.
Well, go ahead and scrap the show. We'll get it next week, guys.
Oh, we have to fix that. Yeah, that's bad, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. We'll get on it. I'll do better. Taking the shot. Son of a gun. Thanks for catching that, brother.
Man.
Well, you know what? This is usually only up for like 2 seconds and nobody notices it. I never noticed it. This is
the third time I've been on the show, and it's like, yeah, I just noticed it too, so don't feel bad.
Do better, Lou. Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
Joe. Joe. Oh, 88 will have to speak. Thank you very much for the info. Yeah, 100% digital caveman. Damn you, AI. No, baby Sky.
This is how Skynet takes over.
Yep. All right, moving on from the stupid AI for you guys. Let's look at the photography and see some good things. First shot we've got is a Plastic Boy Wonder, and Plastic Boy Wonder is with the Crazy Canucks podcast with Suda Huba and Impossible Pie. He had wanted to get a shot in for the Savage Crucible show a few weeks back. Wasn't able to get it done in time, so I promised him we would definitely get it back on there. He is admittedly not necessarily a photographer. He told me this was his first photo that he's done, like a real setup for a photo.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's great, man. It's good for everyone starts somewhere.
Exactly.
So,
Doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Whoa.
Yeah.
We'll leave that one on. Moving on.
Oh, okay, now I say okay. Jeez, Lou. God.
Sorry, Steve.
Hashtag.
I apologize. I think 88. I think, and don't you guys go anywhere. Stick around. But I think Plastic Boy Wonder is on Well Actually tonight, so that's where he's at. Stay here though. Stay here. We'll go there soon. I promise. So anyway, Plastic Boy Wonder again. Great work. Again, first shot. I'm hoping to see more. I'm hoping he jumps in. I know he's been getting heavily into Savage Crucible, and that's, I don't know. For me, that's been kind of a line that's kind of just lent itself to having fun with toy photography.
For sure.
So,
Again, super articulated figures, awesome sculpts. Again, it just there's a lot of inspiration with this way for these figures for sure.
Right here. Mm-hmm. Yep. Tons of fun. Yes, Johnny Cock. Here, right here. Don't go anywhere. Need to ship him a Savage box. He wants his Savage figures. All right, so and 88 points out the lighting speaks of drama. 100%. Yep, 100%. All right, next up we've got Smudge. And Smudge is kind of, it's funny because Smudge was telling me the same thing because he's just kind of dipping his toes into this. I'm like, dude, that's a great fucking shot. I'm very impressed by that. He's like, oh, I'm just getting started. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
And again, it's like, man, like, very much the same way. Just kind of get comfortable with how the figure's moving with everything. Again, a lot of these figures now are super articulated with everything. So a lot of those dynamic poses just come a little more fluent with everything. You
Yep.
know?
Yep. And it certainly helps for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. TD3 Trooper, good to see you, my friend. What's going on? All right. So again, we Smudge Custom. Smudge is got an array of talent. His custom work and his painting is unbelievable. And now apparently he's kicking ass in photography. So
Hell yeah. Leaning into it. I like it.
Yep, for sure. Next up, we've got a B Dixon, Ben Dixon, B Dixon photo, Ben Dixon. Ben is, what I love with Ben is he really knows how to make an extreme set look amazing in photography.
I love this, and I love how the backlighting is with everything. He looks like he hit it with a little bit of fog. Oh man, that looks really, really cool.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I included the behind the scenes on this, but if you go and find this shot on Instagram, he's got some behind the scenes on it as to how he set this whole thing up, and it's pretty awesome with the way he shaped the light coming in from behind the figures, and of course the light shining down on from the front from where you're looking at it. I'm sorry, Lou. I'm sorry, but Lou 100% said big. I said Ben, B-E-N, Ben Dixon photos, B Dixon photo.
You said what you said, Lou. I mean, we can't take it back. The internet's forever. Sorry.
I know. Ben is absolutely amazing, no doubt, my friend. Yep. No, just great work as always. And, Ben's a guy that cracks me up too. Like, and we had him on a long while back now. I think it was the second or third show. It was great to get to talk to him and dig in his brain about photography, because I always admire, he does a lot with Transformers, and I've never been able to capture Transformers in photography. I just can't, for whatever reason. I don't feel it's ever come out where it looks like there's a picture of a toy, right?
Yeah.
And he's worked on it, and his stuff is very, very good. His Transformers photography is amazing.
And see, that's cool. Yeah, that you definitely, people lend themselves to certain toy lines because I feel like they're more inspired by one toy line over the other, and I just feel like it comes a little bit more naturally on some of that stuff.
That's true too. For sure. All right. So next up, we've got Agent Z-Man. I know Z-Man was here earlier with a little Krieger action. Yep, in a dead Lemurian.
It looks joke. Like it looks like it's all wet, like the blood is all fresh.
Yes, it does. Cool. That's I mean, it looks ridiculously wet. That's it's just it looks. But yeah, he captured that for sure. It just looks like a bloody mess. Perfect lighting on that, and we always joke like the Lemurians are always the victims.
Oh my god, yeah! I've killed my shadow Lemurian so many times. Yep.
A moist.
Yeah. There we go. Hashtag.
Yep.
I don't know why that one got me. I don't know.
Hashtag moist.
Yeah.
Z-Man, great work, my friend. Great work. I love this shot. It's fantastic. And so next up, we have a slick to the touch. Absolutely. You guys are killing me tonight. Oh my god. Why does everyone pick on Lemurians? Lizards are bad, I guess. I don't know. That's what's in our heads at this point. I don't know. All right. So next up we have, hey, I know this guy. We know this guy. Coda Forge Photography. With and we actually have two from Coda because I couldn't choose which one to use, so I told him I use both.
I need to get out and use Blackbeard more. I've shot him once, maybe twice, and
Same. I'm actually waiting for. I've got a dio that's supposed to be coming in that I could use better with the military lines, and yeah, I need to get that before I get too deep into it. But yeah, I agree. I've got to get more Blackbeard stuff. The figure's awesome. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. And then, like, one thing they do very well in that toy line also is like the tattoos. Like the arm tattoo on Blackbeard here is phenomenal. Like Sidewinder, like how he's got one going down his neck and on his forearm. Like, man, they do really good. What is it? Oh, Jesus.
All right, Jeff.
We've come off the rails.
Yeah, we always do. Oh, shoot. Let's see. Coda
got
says,
Blackbeard for me. You made a great choice, sir. Great purchase.
hell yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, man, really great. That show was really, really good. I know it was very Legions heavy with everything, but I feel like that's what kind of made us shine a little bit more because we had a big variety of everything else as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, the Black, Action Force, Savage Crucible, all that stuff, man. I enjoy independent companies for sure, man. Like there's so much creativity in that stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly true. That's what I'm loving about it. Like, you know, I'm finding myself buying less and less Hasbro, and you know the major companies, and it's not anything against them. It's just I'm really enjoying the quality and the like you said, the creativity that's coming out of some of these.
Yeah, I mean, think of
smaller independent companies.
All these stories are fresh and still developing. Where, like, you know, G.I. Joe, they've had kind of the same story or maybe rehashed, or you know, that's like that across the board. Ninja Turtles, all that stuff, man. Just again, newer stuff. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Caveman had mentioned a minute ago. Yeah, I agree, Stu, for sure. And we got another one. We'll get to that one. Bring that up in just a second. Went for the Mythics, left with Valorverse and Scissor. That's awesome.
I was the only guy carrying that stuff there, so that helped.
Yeah. See, I wanted to go there so bad because I can't believe some of the dios I saw, you know, that were available there. I'm like just foaming at the mouth for that stuff.
Dude. And like, so Mr. C, who, if you guys are not familiar with on Instagram, a extremely talented diorama maker. That was his first show like that he's ever done.
Wow.
And I mean, yeah, he had a little bit of a drive because he was, well, not drive, I think he flew in, but he had to ship all his dioramas from Fort Lauderdale to the show with everything. But again, it's like that stuff, man. Like there's so much creativity that's going to make these figures pop even more with that. So, but yeah, there was no shortage of creative stuff. So I already told Brian I'm going to be there again next year for sure. Like it's a good show. It's a good venue. Like tons of time for like the after hours, like for the lobby hangs and just kind of talking with people about toys and a little bar area. It was nice, really nice.
Yeah. You know, I might hit you up next year, Steve, because I probably won't be able to make it that far up, but maybe I'll give you a shopping list and some money.
Sounds good.
Real quick, I want to backtrack just real quick. Caveman had mentioned this, and we didn't really touch on this. Anybody looking forward to Brutal Realm?
I backed the Kickstarter.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know they were trying to do the backer kits, and I feel like they had to make some adjustments on that I saw on the Kickstarter side of things, this Kickstarter email. So I would imagine we're not far off, but
yeah.
I mean, I think August will be 2 years since that closed. So I mean, I feel like we're getting pretty dang close to having those in hand. Again, I'd like to carry them in the shop as well too, but we'll see how things work out.
Yeah, for sure. I will say the last what was it? Did I see him at Joe Fest? I missed him at Joe Fest because they were upstairs. I never went upstairs like an idiot. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah.
Yep. But some of the photos and whatnot and the videos that they put up, they're looking good. They really are. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what the final product is there.
Well, I think they had some prototype ones or some factory samples at IshCon. And I mean, again, articulation was, I think we're there for sure. So,
yeah, the articulation is really nice. Yeah, they've put some time and effort into it for sure.
I want to see was it Athena, their female character? I want to see how that one turns out with everything because that one looks like that was a pretty stout one for sure.
Yep.
Coda, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, my wife is a saint. I love her. She tags along with me for the toy shows with everything. So yeah, we're actually in the process of getting packed up. We're going to be heading to Chicago Toy Show this weekend. We're leaving tomorrow. So yeah, that's a great one for sure. So, but yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
No, that's really cool. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, Coda, that's exactly how I met Steve. Was at a con. It was Steve and his wife, and we ended up we just kind of hit it off. I don't know. We talked for a long time. I was like, I love these guys. They're great. And I just hanging around the booth. At one point, I think I was helping you sell.
You were.
I was like,
I'm like, all right, I like it. I like it.
It's like, I hope I'm not overstepping, but yeah.
No, because I think it was one of those things where it's like there was only like maybe one other guy that had Valaverse there. And I think you were answering some questions about that stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. And I definitely am glad I met you guys there. That was
for sure, man. It's been a blast. I mean, I think we've ran into each other now, multiple shows now with everything. So yeah, man, it's been awesome.
Absolutely.
Again, you come for the toys, we stay for the people, right?
100%. All right, so Coda, let's go on to your next shot because I cheated a little bit. I dug this. I mean,
I really dig that.
Yeah. The lighting on this is amazing.
I'm thinking is this from the Canada wildfires that were happening up there just recently? Is that what's going on, or wasn't there a whole bunch of like the orange smoke
coming down?
Yeah, sorry. No, I really dig that. I really dig that.
Yep.
I wish though, did they ever give us like individual shells we could put in the shotgun? Because I think that would be a good look, like having him like actually. I think that's what he's doing here in this one, but like make it look like he's putting a bullet or a shell in there.
Oh shit!
I dig that.
Yes, he said there was smoke, so there we go. And I'll tell you what, and I wish I had him with me. Now that you mention it, because I still haven't actually used him in a shot, but I think it was at Michael's. And I went and looked in their beads section, and they had these very small, tiny cylinder, copper-colored cylinders, and a whole tube of them. I think there's like 500 of these little beads in there. And I bought it with the idea of exactly that. I could like spread them on the floor as like shells. And I still haven't done the shot, but that's something I gotta go back to. I gotta get it done. But just like shells lying everywhere with the guy with the gun. I was gonna do it with what was it? What's his name? Bone Collector version 2 with the mini gun.
Oh yeah, with the Gatling gun. Yeah.
So,
dude, so that's one of the things, like talking about like toy photography. When I first started off, I bought all these props I'm going to use for a shot that I never use for a shot. Like I had all this stuff. Like, what am I doing after this stuff? But yeah.
Yep, for sure. It's hilarious. Yep. We gotta revisit that for sure. What's up, Frankie? What's going on? You forgot to send me your pics. All right, we'll get you next week, brother. Don't worry. There's always time. There's always next week. All right. So Coda, killer work, brother. Love it.
Really great shot.
Love it. So next up, we've got hey, we know this guy too. Iman's World of Geek.
Hey.
Talking about Transformers photography. And here we go with the Transformer. And this is one of those, it's a simple shot. It's focused on the subject, and that's what Iman was talking about. He likes to do. He does a lot of like comic book recreations. So yeah, absolutely cool. Hey, you know that pic. Hey, we know that guy. And Iman's a big Transformers guy, Transformers collector, and everything else. But he showed off a couple the other night, where it's basically he recreates the comic, the comic cover. Yeah, who also Digital Caveman's another one who does that. Very cool stuff. That's awesome, man, and good work on that. And thank you for the submission, my friend. All right, and we have one more. Let me pull it up. A new face. I think kind of a new face. At least a new face to me. AL_toy_NJ. His Instagram is fairly new. He doesn't have that many posts up yet. But I don't remember how we ran into each other on Instagram, but we just recently started following each other. And he's got some really cool stuff. He's got some really cool dios. I think he might have gone to CarverCon. I'm not positive.
Okay.
But he's been posting quite a bit and a lot of fantasy type stuff. And this one kind of stuck out for me, and I was like, yeah, let's see. And I asked him if we could showcase this one. So
I like that because again, that depth of field with everything, you obviously there's the guy down and everything like that, and yeah, really good shot.
Yeah, so you've got so much in the foreground and the Conan coming down, raining hell with that with the sword. I like it. Very cool stuff.
Lou, do you have that Conan by chance, or
isn't that a Mezco? Is that a Mezco? Or is that Verzetta?
I think that is Heroic Signatures. I think that's different.
Oh,
I think that one, like Conan of Blackstone or something like that, where I think it's got like two different versions, like you could take the shirt off kind of thing, and I think it's got a few different portraits with that. But I heard from a lot of people it's a really good one. So
okay, it's that. Yeah, I saw. I think it was Robo did a review on that. He went pretty deep on it. I did. I'm pretty sure that's the one. I don't have it, but yeah.
I think we were talking about this at a show last year or something like that. We went from like having no Conans to now there's like 5 or 6 releasing like with last year and then this year. So it's like,
yeah, so much Conan. What's up, Chewy? Thanks for stopping in, my friend.
How are you?
How you doing, brother? To hell with you, Crom. Right? Yeah, and again, and Winford said, and here's some good use of camera angles, shooting up and tilted. Yep,
for sure.
To create that mood, and it brings more action to the shot for sure.
And I think we even had like in the Savage Crucible collab. I think we have like was it parallel lines or some kind of like thing. Again, anytime you're doing like sword shopping, like for whatever reason, I'm kind of like drawn more towards the photo when it's at that horizontal angle, like going from corner to corner, and everything like that. Yeah, I like that.
For sure. Yeah, we did a leading lions. Leading lions.
Yeah.
Yep. It was very cool. So yeah, again, AL_toy_NJ. I know he doesn't have that many followers yet on, like I said, fairly new on Instagram.
I just followed him, so.
Right on. All right. Yeah, I'd recommend. We chatted back and forth a little bit. Seems like a good person. Seems like a good dude. So that is it for tonight for our shots that have been taken. But and we went way long tonight. I keep saying, oh, it's a 90-minute show. We're almost at 2.5 hours.
I don't think we've ever been on time the times I've been on, Lou. But it's fine. I don't mind talking toys. I could talk toys all hours. Like we talked about my wife, I can maybe talk 10 minutes of toys with her tops.
Right.
So the fact that we're getting almost 2.5 hours, I'm fine with that. So
that's and and if the thing is, if it flows, it's flowing, right?
That's right.
So it's like, I mean, my plan is 90 minutes always, but if everything's flowing and everybody's having a great time, if we go long, we go long. Sure. Shenanigans, I tell you, shabby. But anyway, and this is one of those nights where I feel we could go on for hours, but we do have to cut it down. We do have to shut it down. All right, but we will do this again, and Steve, most definitely, we need to have you on again for sure, as always.
Thank you. I always enjoy being here. So,
yes.
Like I said, I enjoy talking toys. So yeah, anytime you want to have me on for photography or whatever, just let me know, man. For sure.
Right on. And so closing out, Steve, why don't you give us your shout outs, your details, and where we can find you and what we can expect, if you would.
So
please,
for the toy photography aspect of things, definitely on Instagram, articulated_times. I'm the guy with the little blue check mark. I don't say that as a flex. There's doppelgangers out there that try to imitate, I guess, what I'm doing, whatever. So with the blue check mark. If you like longer form content, I'm dabbling in YouTube as well here on this platform, doing some toy reviews. So kind of talking about some more in-depth stuff. I've had a review on the Travarthe Sentinel, and I've also done a review on their Brynjar Veil. Really inspiring figures. Definitely have been a creative outlet for me for photography. So I've definitely been leaning into that company as well too. If you are a fan of toys and like to buy them, I have a great shop for you. Articulated Empire. U.S. orders over $75. We ship free in the United States. I think we're one of the last toy shops out there that are doing partial payments. So again, if you're looking at things that we have, you have the option of doing a partial deposit with a credit or debit card, and then we invoice you the rest when it comes in. Or you have the option to pay in full and then use PayPal, Affirm, all those goodies there, and then check out how you like. So like I said, orders over 75 we ship free, and then if you're outside of the state of Illinois, there's no tax on your order unless you use ShopPay.
Yep.
And then this weekend,
No, go ahead. You keep going.
This weekend we've got a big one in Chicago and the Kane County Toy Show. I know the summer show is considered the smaller one, but I still feel like it's the amount of buildings. But again, I still feel like the crowd is there huge. So if you're looking for stuff, we're going to have new stuff from Valaverse, Mythic Legions, Four Horsemen Studios, Savage Crucible. We'll have Blockies. We'll have all the gamut of stuff. So definitely stop by and check us out. We're going to be in Peck West, booth 15. It's going to be a big one for sure. So definitely come say hey if you're in the area.
You also have got the NECA Sesame Street figures now too. I think
I have Big Bird. I just got Big Bird in. God, I went right when I got back from CarverCon.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got that one, Super Grover, Bert and Ernie, and the Count.
Nice.
Yeah.
E8 Toys is asking, Canada? Do you ship to Canada?
I ship everywhere. I ship to Australia, Canada. I've shipped to Israel. I've shipped to Germany, Czech Republic, all over the place. So it's all based on weight. I typically ship through UPS. However, I think some of the international stuff now, Canada, whatever, I think it goes through DHL. So the shipping cost might be a little bit more, but I think with what it's doing, it's also incurring if there's any fees. So I cover that on my end. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you can call me a shill if you want, but I can attest. I've ordered through Steve numerous times, and excellent service.
Thank you.
Fast shipping. I trust him. I know it doesn't mean much. I'm a shill. I get it, but
No, people put their money out there, and I'm like, I just want it out of my house as quickly as I can. So when the street date hits, I try to make sure I have everything ready to go for that date with everything. So, or as soon as it comes in, I try to make sure I'm getting it out in the same fashion. So,
yep, absolutely.
The Chicago Toy Show, I want to say, so Saturday is for VIPs or setup. So it'll start as early as 9. I feel like it goes till 3, I think. And then on Sunday, it's from 8 to 2. I feel like 8 to 2 or 8 to 3. I want to say, I'm probably misquoting that one, but again, it's a good chunk of time. But yeah, the main foot traffic is going to be definitely there on Sunday, and I would say, man, I feel like 2, Stu, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say 2, but it's a good one. So definitely come check it out if you're in the area.
Yeah. That'd be probably a very fun time, Stu. So if you get a chance to do it, that'd be cool. I did want to bring this back up because we missed this real quick. Our Tickled Times is not a toy place. It's something very different.
I'm on a list now for that comment.
Careful how you Google.
Right.
Google responsibly, people.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it goes off the rails, and that's what we do here. And it's fun.
I love it though. It's awesome. But again, it's like you've cultivated a great group of people around this show with everything. And again, I feel like the more prominent we can make toy photographers, I think the better. Again, especially for folks that are just starting out, some words of encouragement and stuff like that. I think that's the best thing. Again, I know for me, starting out in this whole process, like, man, should I even really be doing this? I felt it was very much of the imposter syndrome, right? So
yes.
Kind of I like it, but I don't know if I should be doing it. But again, just putting yourself out there, getting the reps in, I think that you'll definitely feel more at ease. And again, like I said, you meet so many great people in the process.
Right, for sure. No, and it's been a lot of fun. Mostly, majority encouraging. I've not yet. I've been blessed not to run into any trolls yet, so they're not with any serious, in bad intentions or whatever.
No, I mean,
It's overall a lot of fun. It's just been,
yeah. Like
you
again,
know,
doing the outdoor stuff too. I thought for sure I'd be like meeting like tons of like, no, like
oh,
everybody's been like super supportive and like, oh hey man, that's really cool, you know. So I was like, all right, so
mhm. Yeah, that's nice. It's nice to hear and nice to see for sure.
mm.
But yeah, no, again, everybody, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. I know we went way long, and you guys hung out and stuck around with us. We had some great shots. I appreciate you guys each and every week. We'll see you tomorrow night on Plastic Journey, 9 p.m. Eastern. Our guest is Suda Huba, and I think we've got a video, Abby.
We collect the mezcals and Marvel Legends and even the third parties. We shop the Legos and McFarlane's and we even check out the Barbies. We hunt at Walmart and at Target and anywhere with toys. We help each other out because we do it for the boys. Welcome to the Plastic Journey Podcast.
Now, I know I'm probably in trouble because I announced it before the video, who was going to be on the video, negating the need for the video, but it was a nice video, right?
Nice video.
I'm gonna get fired after
Scolded.
this.
Just
Scolded for sure. Sorry, Abby, I screwed that one up. Again, appreciate everybody. What's coming up next? As a matter of fact, yeah, hey. So 88 says, great show, Lou. Thank you so much, my friend.
appreciate that.
What is next week's theme? And I'm glad you asked, 88, because you're going to be on the show next week. You're the theme next week.
Yeah.
We had, I'm excited. I'm excited to have 88 come and join us, and we will talk and dig into his brain and talk about his photography and his take on photography. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm enjoying that. Looking forward to enjoying that conversation. Excited for that, and we've got a lot coming up. I've got a couple other. So I'm booked actually guest wise for the next 2 weeks. I don't know if I should spoil the following week's guest.
Maybe.
We'll say it next week. We'll do it the right way. The following week knows. He knows who's the guest the week after that. So we won't spoil it yet. It's exciting. We won't spoil it. We'll hold off. So next week is 88. After that, we've got another great guest. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a fun August. And I am working on the next overall theme, like we did with G.I. Joe and Savage Crucible. Working on the what we're gonna do there with the next theme. We've got a number of ideas, irons in the fire, and we'll figure out which trigger we'll pull for that one. Abby didn't even know the next guest. Yeah, yeah. Now you do. 88's gonna be here next week, Abby. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Stu for lunch. His comment. Christopher Nolan is a guest. Nice.
I don't have that kind of money, man.
Yeah.
Plus,
All
I don't
this
know.
is gonna be shot in IMAX, though. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be impressive. All right. Hey, thank you guys so much. Keep sending, keep hashtagging, taking the shot FFC. Again, reach out to me on Instagram, LucidaBase3. You send me a picture and say, hey, can you feature it? We certainly will. And let me say something else, because I meant to get to this earlier, but I'll do it in the outro. If you guys have sent me something, because I'm old, my brain doesn't work that great anymore. If you have sent me something and either I told you I'd get it on the show and haven't, or haven't responded to you, reach back out to me. If I screwed up, I'm sorry. Reach back out to me, because I don't want to leave anybody out, and it's never been my intention. It never will be my intention. So if you haven't heard back from me, or if I've missed your shot and not put it on there, tell me. Let me know. We will get you on. It was never with any intent. Any words escape me. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. So
You didn't do it
I-
intentionally.
it may have happened. So I just want to put that out there. And if it had happened, I apologize greatly. It was never an intent to leave you out. But with that said, tomorrow night we'll see you on Plastic Journey with Suda Hoopa. Next week, Taking the Shot is with 88. Of course, this Saturday, I believe we are off for a week in terms of Men on Film. A lot of different obligations this week. Don't forget, tomorrow on Plastic Journey to wish Abby a happy birthday. His birthday is coming up this weekend. Go ahead and wish him a happy birthday. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. Thank you guys so much. Always fun. Steve, thank you for coming on. Sneaky, if you hit the replay to finish out the show, thank you so much for coming on. I love having you guys on and hanging out with you guys. Hope everybody's learned maybe something or at least had a lot of fun. We'll see you next time.
As we wrap up tonight's fun, the figures in talk, so we've just begun. Join us next time for thrills anew. In the world of Figure Fight Club, it's all for you. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. See you next week on Figure Fight Club, stay strutting. This isn't goodbye, it's just a see you later. In the meantime, go check out another creator. So keep your figures on display until we gather here someday. Remember the tales and the laughs we shared. Here at Figure Fight Club, you're treasured and cared.